You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
I gave me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money, money.
Called out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find the things in my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me, no, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you, and we got another episode of Elevated Sports Talk. What is going down? Shout out to the crew who's up in the chat right now. We are going to be... I need to get rid of that at the bottom. All right. Okay. All right, hold on one quick second. Let's see. I'm going to try to get a little banner for the top of everything here. All right. Here we go. All right. And we're going to mess with this over here. Try to get a little banner going for us. All right. Man, the damn injury fallout. I don't think we have any more news. Yeah, nothing new since yesterday. We'll talk about the news just in case some other peeps didn't see it. But man, AJ Brown's gonna be out for a couple weeks. CMC's on the IR. Like, man, everything is all messed up right now. Everything is just all messed up right now. Like, what is going on? All right, we're gonna figure this out here. All right, I'm gonna trying to get a banner here just so it doesn't look as goofy as it does right now. Sleeper just takes up so much of the damn screen, man. All right, here we go. And you guys can tell me what you think about how this looks here. Yeah, all right, here we go. Let's figure this out. Johnny in the house. What up? What up? Stranger says start in the morning with some rotten citrus. Man, not the most appetizing name. Definitely not the most appetizing name, but rotten citrus. I like citrus. I hope it's not rotten. And Johnny, what are you smoking on over there, bro? What are you smoking on over there, my brother? All right. Now, how are we going to do this? Okay. All right. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I'm trying to get a banner going for this because there's so much like dead space up there. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. All right. How are we going to do this? I think, let's see. Here, we're going to have it cover the whole top part over there. And anybody have any questions in here? It tastes better than it sounds. For sure. For sure. I know you're not smoking. I know Stranger never smokes any bullshit, you know, but yeah, definitely. I like the Cat Williams. Like, man, this shit's called death. It's like, what? I'm going to hit this and die? This shit don't even sound attractive. No, not death. Death. You hit this twice, you can't see shit, or you can't hear shit. Like, what?
I got shit to do today. What the fuck?
Chewy. I lost Pacheco and Ken Walker, AJ Brown. I lost Pacheco and Ken Walker. AJ Brown for Gibbs and Neighbors. I have AJ Brown. Maybe, but I feel like I want to rework that. I feel like I want to rework that somehow. All right. Let's see how this turns out now. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I'm working on getting a banner going for the top of the stream here. Just trying to get everything ready so it's just like already you know, so it's just something that I got ready to go, and then just got to change a few things. All right, let's see. All right, let's see how this works. Let's see how this looks. But I think it'll look way better than just a whole bunch of sleeper shit on top. Let's check this out. Let's see how this looks. Way better than just a bunch of blank space at the top, that's for sure. All right. And Johnny smoking the peach Parashino, 26% sativa leaning hybrid. Nice and frosty. Chewy said he also has A-Chain and Kamara. I mean, like how, I mean, just, you know, AJ Brown, I feel like you got to replace, a wide receiver and a running back. But, man, I guess I just don't want Neighbors. Like, I know he killed it this week, but, like, I feel like you're just buying, like, a little bit too high on him right now, though. Because they're not going to be playing Washington every week, and that's kind of what this comes down to. Really what it comes down to. They do not play Washington every week. All right. I think I almost got it here. And I know this is probably something that I should be doing before the shows, but, man, it's hard out here, man. It's busy trying to do everything and being you know, a one-man band. It's tough sometimes, but we're gonna keep killing it. All right, and then now we are good. Let's see how this looks. You guys tell me. How's that look now? Is it just too much in the top corner? Does it look weird? Just being like, you know, just having something in the corner. But it's like it's blocking all that bullshit, like wasted space, like up there. So I feel like we kind of see what we need to see. But you let me know. You let me know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? All right. There we go. Now that we got that all squared away, let's smoke a little bit more. And then we're gonna jump into waivers. Let's go. Song in the house. What up, bro? Johnny said it's like 7:30 a.m. You're doing great, right? we got to kill it, man. Got to kill it. Last week, it took way too long number one, to do the waiver show. And then number two, it took way too long editing, like after the fact. So yeah, got to be here early. Killing it, man. We got to take advantage of this time. And strange, so mine's 26.68. I smoke higher percentages later in the day. Nice. And Toyota One says Steele gets first crack at number one for week 3. Yeah. So I mean, from the research that I've done, Steele last week, okay, week 1, he only had like 9% of the snaps. Okay, it was like P. Ryan, he had like, I think it was 14 or 15. So like neither one had like an insane amount of snaps. It was all Pacheco for sure. And then this week, the guy so P. Ryan got one more snap than last week, but it was a lower percentage of snaps. And Steele got more snaps and a higher percentage of snaps in this past game. And I didn't do the research to see like how many of those snaps came after like Pacheco went out or anything like that. But we want to follow the snap percentages, and like follow the touches. And the stats weren't great. Like the stats weren't good at all. Nobody's stats were good on the Chiefs yesterday. Like, Rice, but that's like it. Pacheco, it wasn't bad. He went out on a good note for us for sure. But I'm just kind of nervous about the Chiefs in general, their whole offense. And like, yeah, we're going to be adding these guys on waivers, but I'm not going to be super excited to like run Steele or P. Ryan or even Kareem Hunt. Those are going to be like the 3 flavors of the week right now because everyone's going to be trying to replace Pacheco. And I'm not saying I'm not going to get any of them because I've already went and picked up Hunt in places. And I already have Steele in a bunch of places, and he's just marinating, my taxi squad. If I got him in my taxi squad, I'm probably not even pulling him out of the taxi squad for this first week, unless you have Pacheco. Then you have like nobody else. They got the Falcons this week. Falcons are at home. You saw how they kind of were against the Eagles, Barkley was able to do his thing a little bit, and that's Barkley. And Chewy said, is Hunt worth the $5 pickup? Yeah, for sure. Why not? We don't know what's going to happen. It took an injury to Pacheco for anybody to even want to bring him in the fucking middle of September. So I don't know how good Hunt is actually going to be. Bro, Chewy said I could drop Zay Jones. Drop Zay Jones, man. Drop Zay Jones. Pick up Hunt. I'd probably rather get like a Steele, first. He's probably going to be the guy. Andy Reid. He likes him. He really, really likes him. Okay. He said Hunt can't play and be activated until week 5 if you pick him up on waivers. Why? Yeah, why? Give us the reason why. Because he's suspended or something? Yeah, because that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, why wouldn't Kareem Hunt be able to play? I mean, I don't think that the Chiefs would want to play him anyways, but that just kind of doesn't make sense to me. Throw in the Y, Lee. And Toyota One said for redraft, kind of pull the trigger on someone with all the injuries or make trades at this point because everyone's dying out there. Yeah, both. Got to do both, right? Got to do both. Got to be on it. Chase said KC backfield could be a potential headache to deal with. Well, not a potential to deal with. It is going to be a headache to deal with. And the way that the Chiefs have been looking, I'm saying it right now, like we're going to go probably pick them up, but I would not be foolish and put one of these guys in the lineup in week 3. I really wouldn't. Hey, John Dunn, what up? Was actually just looking for a stream for fantasy. What happened? And you happened to be talking about Kareem. He said you think Kareem Hunt will get signed and play. I think that he will by the Chiefs because nobody else wants him. Like that, very, very clear that nobody in the NFL wants him right now. And the Chiefs might be the only potential suitor, and it's because they're hella desperate. And even if he does get signed, I really don't think he's going to be the number one. Like if he was that good, he would already be on a team. Like right now, if he was good enough to be a number one on any team, let alone the Chiefs, he would already be signed right now. So I'm saying go pick him up, but do not start him. Like it's like, let's be smart, guys. Like we want to make these moves and we want to make these pickups. Don't start him. Don't start him. I said, just looked it up. He's not eligible to be activated till week 5. But why though? Tell us why. Lee said that earlier, but why? Why wouldn't he be eligible until week 5? I'm still trying to wrap my head around why. And Johnny said he played really well for the Browns. Not this past year. And let me even go look at his let's go look at his stats from last year. Let's see. I guess I'm not going to be able to keep that up because it'll be blocking this. Let's see. I mean, look. I mean, even if we're talking fantasy, single point, 10 points with a touchdown. Single. 13 points with a touchdown. 15 points with 2 touchdowns. That's horrible. 16 points with a touchdown. Single. I mean, he was not. I mean, the Browns, they were, the Browns were the Browns last year. They were pretty shitty, but Kareem Hunt is not really, he hasn't been good for a few years. I mean, he's been okay. He's been serviceable. I mean, those are the kind of words that I would use to describe him. And not sure why it's like that, though. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. And I mean, where are you guys seeing that? Where are you guys seeing that? Because when I'm Googling it and looking at different things, I don't see anything of that. Let's see. Yeah, like where are you guys seeing it? And John Dum said, I think I should pick up Steele and then keep Hunt on the bench. Yeah. I would. Because they like Steele. We know that Andy Reid likes Steele. I mean, we don't know how good he's going to be, because he looked okay in the preseason and stuff, but, like now you're going up against everybody. It ain't just guys who are the backups and the third strings and all that. Because, yeah, I mean, shit, everybody looks good when you're playing against third stringers, but yeah, they got to they're going to have to figure out how to get that offense rolling a little bit more because the offense just in general, I mean, outside of Rice, like it really sucks, man. It really sucks. And John Dum said, gotcha. How often do you go live? A couple times, usually two to 3 times a day, depending on what day, but always in the mornings, Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit earlier because we got waiver wire day and we got the starts and sits on Wednesday. And so I'm going to be recording. I kind of like record the videos while I'm going live and then those get uploaded into like different segments and stuff. Chase said, I need my morning coffee. Get it, bro. I'm getting my morning bowl right now. But yeah, John Dum, you'll and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but you'll like it around here. We go live all the time, and we're killing it with the information and starts and sits, killing it. And yeah, thanks for joining, bro. Thanks for joining. Dude, and I don't know what is up with my AC, but I feel like I got to go turn it a little bit lower. He said, good deal. I'll be stopping back in. He says, my first year doing fantasy, I'm learning a lot so far. It's pretty fun. And if you have any, if you want to get involved a little bit more, come join the private fantasy community that I have, 420crew.com. I have a fantasy football consulting service. And so if you need help, I mean, I do this for free, you know, on YouTube, but if you want a little bit more help when I'm not on YouTube or like access, you know, to me, like any time of day, 420crew.com, go get signed up as a superstar member or higher. You will not regret it. And let's see. Said they're reading it wrong. It's CEH that can't be activated until week 5. See, and but why CEH though? Did he go on IR? But yeah, not sure why. Like that makes zero sense with Kareem Hunt. Like, why would Kareem Hunt not be able to be activated at any time unless he was suspended or something? But yes, thank you, Toyota One. Thank you, Toyota One. And he said, not sure about Lee, but I misread. That's my bad at the end of the article. It's talking about CEH. Yeah, see? People just, and I know Lee, he's trying to be the ear to the streets. You know, like he's got a crew that he's the ear to the streets for. We appreciate you trying, Lee. We appreciate you trying. And yeah, let's see if, all right. John said, I'll definitely join up. It'll be one of the best things that you do for your fantasy football life. Trust me. I've been playing fantasy football for damn near 20 years. I've been commissioning I've been commissioning leagues for like 15 years. Let's see. It's so funny. And Lee's like, he just sent me the text like, look, bro, it says you won't be eligible until week 5. Shouldn't have even told them because he's going to go give the wrong info to like his crew and then they're going to sound like dorks because they're just going to believe like everything that Lee says without like even doing research. But yeah, see, I knew that didn't make sense. Didn't make sense at all. And all you have to do is read. Like, that's it. Just got to read the whole thing. I think like what a lot of people do, including myself, will read like, you know, the first part of, info. We'll read the last part of info, but then we kind of won't read like everything in the middle, like super, super close. But yeah, literally the, what he just sent me was the shit on Yahoo right now. And yeah, just at the end, just like you guys said, it literally says CEH can't come back until week 5. John says, biggest problem I have right now is not knowing the teams and how they play. I have to look up team predictions, bro. See, if you first off, if you keep coming around here, you'll know that kind of stuff because the more that you just sit around and listen, people ask questions about different things. I'm giving all kind of info. And yeah, like signing up on 420crew.com and getting like direct access to me, like it's like $10 a month. But it's one of the best things that you could do because I do all the research. Like you can ask me questions and I'll give you my answers. I'll give you my thoughts. I'll give you the why and the why not. And yeah, I don't think anybody in fantasy football space does what I do. Almost positive nobody in the fantasy football space does what I do. Most people are trying to create like AI programs and, you know, shit like that where it's not an actual human, you know, helping you with your lineup decisions. But I'm a human, just got to pay me. And I'm here. Like, I mean, not 24/7, but people, there's sometimes where people like, man, you're messaging me back right now. Don't you ever sleep? Jay say, think Minnesota will hire Russell Gage. I mean, even if they do, he's not really that good. So I'm not like super worried about it. And Demetrios said, hurting in RB position. I traded away DK Metcalf for Tony Pollard. Lost Pacheco. I don't like that. I do not like that. But, could be worse if you really need an RB. Could be worse. And still waiting on the commissioner to approve. Oh. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully they think it's collusion and they just cancel it for you. John said, I definitely caught my interest. I've been pretty invested, learning all the stuff. So, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like, I don't know what kind of league you're playing in, if it's money or not. Cause I know some people, they're like, man, why would I pay you to be, like, I'm only in like a free league. But it's just like anything else that you're investing in. It's investing in your education, because there's a lot of people who, they'll be around for a couple years and then they kind of learn so much that, maybe they're just not around like anymore. I feel like the knowledge that I have, like it only improves and improves. Toyota wants a hustle legit. I'm a better fantasy player since joining last year. It's fucking go. Hell yeah. And I didn't see any of your teams last year, but it proves in the draft that you've been killing it, bro. You've been killing it. All right. Okay. Yeah. See, and there's someone messaging me right now. Someone who's a paid member texting me. If you get on the $25 tier or higher, you actually get like my phone number and my business line, and I'll see the messages and shit like while I'm live. So we're gonna let him know right now. We're gonna answer after the show, but he's got waiver questions also. Okay, and right, Johnny said, "Hustler don't gatekeep any info or knowledge. What he knows, we know for sure." Yeah, I know there's a bunch of people out there in the fantasy world who they're going to try to keep their secrets and everything, because of the leagues that they play in. I want to beat people at their best, and even if I'm giving all this information, doesn't mean people are going to act on it. Doesn't mean people are going to act on it for sure. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. I got to. It is super hot in here right now. I need to go. I need to go turn the air down. So give me like 60 seconds. I'll be then I have a fan on underneath the desk, and I don't know, man. It says it's 69 degrees, but it's definitely not 69 degrees in the office right now. And drafting was my biggest downfall. Now I need to get better at managing. I mean, that is drafting just sets the tone for the year. I know there's some people who they're like, they want to have a perfect draft, and like that, it just doesn't exist. Like a perfect draft just totally doesn't exist. Because even if you do have the perfect draft and you draft CMC, fucking he's hurt. There's all kinds of shit. And Jay says, started 7 years ago, learned enough my first year and won the second. There we go. And I said, man, we're always on brand with everything, bro.
69, dudes.
And HD, I'm getting 2 offers. I'm getting offered 2 trades. I want advice on which one I should accept. Trade 1, Ramondre for J.K. Dobbins and Worthy. Yeah. Kind of don't like it. I'd rather have Ramondre. Unless you're getting Ramondre, and then I kind of do like it. Trade 2, trade Devonta plus Ramondre for Higgins, David Montgomery, and Reed. I don't like that one. So I'm assuming you got Ramondre and they want him. I don't want to move Ramondre for those pieces. I really don't. And John said I'm in 2 leagues. This is year 1, 6-person. The other person is 12 people, currently in second place, going into week 3 for my 12-person league. Man, and I mean the 6-person league, that's probably going to be easy to pick up people, but it's probably going to be harder to win because everybody's team is probably like beyond stacked, I'm assuming. And Toyota wants to say, not lying. Always on brand, bro. Always on brand. Johnny said my perfect draft was the 3 QB, and now 5 of my 6 starters. 5 of my starters are kaput. Like, man, fucking sucks, dude. Like, so many of my teams look so great, and I drafted Cup like all hell late, and now he's hurt, and I got all these losses because I got him in like all my redraft leagues. Yeah, Chase can never play in too many leagues. Sucks when you're only doing one if your team blows and you're toast for the season. For sure. For sure. Song, he said, Hustler's there for me. He said 24-7. There we go. Pause. And he said, for real, said Alex is the real deal. Been with him going on 4 years now. You the man. Won hella championships. Join the crew. You won't regret it. See, we got a whole bunch of people who were, you know, I'm sure that if I wasn't around, that they would still be doing really good. And, but hopefully it's the entertainment and the knowledge of why everyone sticks around. And I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words. Making me feel good this morning. And Code Red said, good morning, J.K. Dobbins or Kai Ren from RB. Not confident in either this week. Yeah, I wouldn't be. Then not with J.K. Dobbins going up against the Steelers. So remember, everybody, if you ask me a start-sit question on Tuesday, it's only Tuesday. Make sure you come back. Do not take a Tuesday answer or a Wednesday answer as a final answer. Never. But as of right now, I'm saying Kyren. Yeah, John. Yeah, the 6-person one's really stacked too. Not many trade. I mean, no one has to trade. Everybody's team's so fucking stacked, you don't have to trade. And he said, going on just rotating current rosters. Yeah. I mean, the lesser amount of people in a league, the more that everybody's team is just like absolutely stacked. And almost like the more lucky you kind of have to get, because the people who get injured, you know, like the teams that have like the most injuries, like that's just like the bad luck, you know, that comes on. And the other part of the bad luck will be your schedule. Hopefully you don't play one of the higher scoring teams like every week. Yeah, for me, it's 12 or more, unless it's some kind of like specialty league, like one of them where we start 3 QBs. It would kind of be tough if you had to start 3 QBs with a 12-teamer, so we do 10. All right. There we go. We've been rocking for almost 45 minutes. There we go. And, yeah, I feel the air coming in now. So I turned it down from 69.
69, dudes!
To 67, and I feel it. I feel it getting a little frosty in here right now. That's how we need it. Yeah, that's one thing that I don't skimp on is the AC. That shit's hella expensive. It's like damn near $300 a month for the entire year. But it's crazy. I don't know if it works this way in any other places that are like hella hot. But because you know we're not really using the AC. Like come October, November, like I'll probably be using the AC a little bit, but it's not like, you know, not like in the summer and shit. They have this thing where it's like you pay equal amounts every single month, and it kind of like averages shit out like somehow. And man, I'm glad I did this. I wasn't able to do it the first year that I got here because it needed to like know like our, I don't know, history or tendencies or some shit. And man, during the hot months, fucking electricity was like $600. Like that shit was killer, man. That shit killed. About to start cooling down in Vegas, though. It's always somewhere middle of September. Oh, what do we got here? What's this one, Jay? Tom Petty. Let's see. Hopefully this isn't one that gets us flagged by YouTube. And I was hot. And all I had to do, just come in here, get it cooled down. All right. Said I used a homemade swamp cooler to cool my Airstream in the Arizona sun at 125. If the swamp isn't cooling, they use too small of a swamp. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And see, maybe you're just more of like an expertise, off-grid dude, compared to some of these guys. I don't really hang out. Like you're one of the first off-grid people, that I've like kind of talked to, and super cool, man. It's super cool. Jay said, put a Mr. Cool unit in your studio. What the hell is that? Let's see. Mr. Cool. Let's see. It's like a small air conditioner. Well, I guess there's some that are small, some that are big. I mean, I have like a portable air conditioner. Yeah, see shit. Ooh, this one. Yeah, but look at this shit. I see one, a Mr. Cool, 3600 BTU. I mean, shit. I have a 10,000 BTU, I think, or maybe it's like 9,000, something like that. That shit cools down a fucking room, like just one room though. But the fucking the electricity sucks on that. It'd probably be. I wonder if it would be more running this versus like running like one of these things versus like the central air. I have the central air. I'm good. And I mean, it sucks paying electricity, like it really does. But it's just at this point, it's a part of my business expenses. So you can get a single unit that cools a whole house, man. And it doesn't use electricity, right? I mean, we got upstairs, downstairs. Like it would cool a whole house. And how much do those things cost? Because see, I also don't have a bunch of what's it called? A bunch of income to be able to like spend on that. If it's like something that costs like $5,000 or $10,000, I don't think Stranger would be telling me to buy something that costs $5,000 or $10,000. But Johnny said my girlfriend calls me Mr. Cool Unit. He said no, she doesn't. I thought you were gonna say she calls something specifically your cool unit. All right. What do you guys think? Should I just start with QBs? Make our way through all the positions. Should I switch it up at all? Should I do any other position first, or just start with QBs and go QB, RB, wide receiver, tight end, defense and special teams, then IDP last? Dennis, we have a savings plan in Minnesota during the summer. The bill would easily be over 300, but okay, yeah, same shit here in Vegas. Because when I wasn't on this, like originally, where it's like I don't know, and I say 300, I'm rounding up. It's like 250 to 280, like most months. So what, same difference. But yeah, when I wasn't on this like program that I'm on, like right now, it wouldn't be the 250 to 280 like per month. It would be fucking it would be like, I mean, I had it where it was like 500, almost 600, like during the months of like August and July. And so, yeah, it's just really ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks paying that when I'm not using, probably $300 worth of electricity. But, man, saving me from the couple months that I'd be paying like $500-600. I mean, it's ridiculous. And Chase said QBs. All right. Sounds good. That's where we'll start. That's where we will start. And Dennis, we're doing Tuesday and Wednesday. We got earlier shows going because we got more things going on. Just a heads up. Strange, my evaporator pad was a old style hospital blanket with holes. Use a 25-gallon. Cooler is a water tub. Airstream windows are hinged at the top, so I hung a blanket from it. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Let's get into this. And I guess the So you can get 3 units, 1 for upstairs, downstairs, studio, 2 in the house. Could be larger one with the studio. Smaller BTUs are different. Yeah, but see, would it end up costing more electricity to do all that? Because the Mr. Cool, I mean, do they run off electricity? Kind of looked like it did. Plus, that's a whole bunch of work, man. Like that's a whole bunch of work that I don't have time for. I just already know that. I already know. Look at how much I'm streaming. Like, fuck, I have no time to do anything right now. I don't even have time to go get all the new sound drops and shit that I want. And Swamp used electric. AC and Swamp both use a squirrel cage to move air, but the AC has a compressor to turn, and the Swamp only has a small water pump. Okay. All right. All right. Let me get this up here. Okay. Here we go. Find the damn guy that I'm looking for here. All right. You guys ready? Here we go. What up? What up? We got another waiver wire day going down. Waiver wire Tuesday. We're going to be covering all positions. This is the quarterback video, though. So make sure that you watch all the videos that are coming. You want to be ready. You want to be ready because the draft is not where you win your leagues. You win it on the waiver wire. And here we go with some waiver wire ads. We're going to start off with Derek Carr. He is the number 2 QB on the season right now. Number 2 QB on the season right now. Let that sink in for a second. And I know they had Carolina, week 1, and seems like everybody's going to be killing it versus Carolina. But they got they had the Cowboys week 2, and he did a very similar output. Very similar output. 2 games. He's had 21 plus points in each game. He has 5 total touchdowns so far, and he got a rushing TD, mixed in a rushing TD as well. And week 3, they got the Eagles. I mean, Kirk Cousins, look at what he did to the Eagles. I don't think we're really scared of that matchup as of like right this second. And then speaking of the Falcons, and they got the Falcons in week 4. The Saints just look like they're on a tear right now. Derek Carr is only 20% rostered in redraft leagues, as these are Yahoo percentages. I would go pick him up.
Pick him up!
Because I don't know why. People thought that he was going to play against the Panthers and then just absolutely suck, like versus Dallas. But his percentages did not rise, like at all. Nobody wanted him, like versus Dallas. Now, versus the Eagles, when Kirk Cousins just did something, you better go pick up Derek Carr, because you wait one more week and you might not be able to get him as cheap. All right. Okay. There was guy number 1. Guy number 1. Let's see. Number 2. There we go. My number 2 guy on the list here. He's only rostered in 14% of leagues. It is Sam Darnold Schwarzenegger. Look at what he did to San Fran. Now, I mean, we got to pay attention to Justin Jefferson and the injuries that are going on with him, because if Justin Jefferson is not there, I'd probably be thinking way different than what I am right now. But Sam Darnold, you could do a lot worse than Sam Darnold going up into week 3. I mean, he's got the Texans. The Texans, I mean, they did shut down Anthony Richardson and they did shut down Caleb. But Sam Darnold, he's been in the league for a few years. And I'm not saying that he's necessarily a lot better than those two guys, but I bet you he goes in there and has better performances than both of those two guys did. Both games, 15 plus points, nearly 22 points against actually more, almost 24 points against San Fran. And they got the Texans in week 3. And then they got the Packers in week 4. Might not be the best matchups, but I feel like if you have a Tua or a Jordan Love or, just someone else who's sucking right now, could be a lot worse than Sam Darnold. So go pick him up.
Pick him up!
He is only rostered in 14% of leagues right now. Rush Lord, what up, bro? What's going down, homie? What's going down? Jay said they're all quick and easy to install, a lot less expense. My bill dropped from $450 to $250 per month, and I have the 3600 BTU. Okay. It could be something to look into. Okay, let's see. All right. Here we go. My number 3 guy on the QB waiver wire is going to be Geno Smith. I mean, just hovering right around 20 points a game for each of the first 2 weeks. And he went up against Denver and New England. I mean, New England is pretty tough. And he was able to throw down, just 0.12 portions of a point, shy of 20 points. They got the Dolphins in week 3. I mean, Dolphins looked like shit last week on Thursday. Then they got the Lions in week 4. The Lions defense, I mean, not like they've been holding people down like crazy. So I'm not really scared of any of those matches. 17 plus points, or actually 19 plus points in each of these games. At least one passing TD in each game. He did have a rushing TD in week 1 as well. And he's got DK, Lockett, and JSN. It might be the best wide receiver trio in football right now, at least debatable that they are up there. He's only 34% rostered, so he should be available in your league. And if he's available, what are we going to do?
Pick him up!
Let's go. I got 2 more guys that are rostered in over 50% of leagues, but just barely. This first guy, Kirk Cousins, probably got dropped in a bunch of leagues after week 1 because he just looked like dog shit. I mean, it was horrible. But not so bad against the Eagles in week 2, getting over 20 points and beating the Eagles. Looking pretty good out there in primetime, no less. 54% rostered, so not readily available, but just a hair over 50%. He's got Kansas City in week 3, so not the best matchup. Got the Saints in week 4, but if you lost some QBs or you're rolling with a guy who's not really doing that good right now, I mean, Kirk Cousins looks like he's on the up and up, at least, after week 2. And if you're just picking him up as a backup and just stashing him on your bench,
pick him up.
That's a good move as well. All right. Hey, Marco from the future. What up, Marco? What's going down, bro? Last guy to pick up here. Make sure you go subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Aaron Rodgers, only rostered in 53% of leagues, so just a hair over 50% rostered. Go check and see if he's available in your league. We finally saw a little bit of what we were expecting from Aaron Rodgers. The yardage wasn't there insanely, but he got the 2 touchdowns. He got right around 20 points. He's got New England and he's got Denver and then Minnesota over the next 3 weeks. So maybe we're a little bit nervous about the Patriots because Patriots, I mean, their defense has been holding it down, but I don't think we're worried about the Broncos too much. I don't think we're worried about Minnesota all that much. And he hasn't played for a year, and he got 2 games under his belt, and he finally looked more like the Aaron Rodgers that we are used to. So there's a lot worse players that you can pick up besides Aaron Rodgers. So if you see Aaron Rodgers available on your waiver wire for some reason,
pick him up.
Go do it. Go do it. And go watch all the other waiver wire videos that are dropping right now. If you're into IDP, check out the IDP waiver wire video. We got defense and special teams and all the other positions, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Video should be popping up right now. Click it. All right, QB video done. There we go. And shout out to Ryan, who just followed on Twitch. What up, what up? For everyone who might be new to this, every time the sleeper screen was up there, I'm like recording this for a video that's going to get uploaded. Just makes it way easier for me to find the spots to edit. And there we go. QB in the books, in the books. The RBs, oh man, RBs are so gross. They're so gross right now. Because really it was the one injury, and it's not really a next man up. Marco said this week kind of killed one of my teams. Got A.J. Brown, Pacheco, and Tua. Dude. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno. Let's smoke a bowl. And then we're going to get into the running backs. If you have not hit that like button, do it. Do it now. Do it now. All right. Go through. Get these ready for the timestamps because I've been trying to do my due diligence on leaving timestamps. Even in the live streams, it's a little hard because I got to do it while I'm, while I'm here. What up, Chef Rand? He said Bloody Sunday, bro. It was a bloodbath out there. It was a bloodbath. And Chef Rand with the super chat. You the man, homie. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And we're gonna get this updated at the bottom here. Get you added there. And he said D-Rob to the moon. Man, here's the thing that sucks. Like I want to say yes, but now this also means that the best cornerbacks and the best defenders on the team are going to be covering him, and that's not really the best. It's really not. So to the moon, fuck, man. I hope, but it's making me super nervous though. Making me super nervous. All right, and there we go. Let's get Chef Rand added to the bottom here. And what up, South Sea? Would you pick up Burrow or Carr off of waivers? Burrow. And the reason why I did not mention Burrow for the QB video, he's rostered in well over 50%. I mean, I threw in Kirk Cousins kind of like at the end and Aaron Rodgers at the end because they're like barely rostered over, barely rostered over 50%. Just a couple ticks. And but yeah, not the same for Burrow though. So I'd go pick him up.
Pick him up.
Ryan, what up? Said this is a good trade. Fuck it. Damn it. Who's the first one? So I notice how it took out part of someone's name. Who's the first person? Throw it in there again, Ryan, because I see someone in CMC for Bijan and Ayuk. I understand that's Ayuk, but put in the other name on the first one, and then I'll answer this. Oh, Mason. Okay, Mason and CMC for Bijan and Ayuk. I might do that. I mean, San Fran, they're imploding. They're imploding. I think if you could sell and get, someone like Bijan like in the mix, I'd be down to do that. Chef Ramsay, you never know with McVay. Maybe. I mean, let's hope that he can scheme up some shit for D-Rob because I got him in a lot of places and I don't have the luxury to sit him because of injuries. Corey, my man, what up? What up? South Sea said in the game lost Tua Cup mix and lost by 0.52. Ouch. Ouch, that hurts. And Will said 36-4. This leak in my weeks lost 2 matchups by less than a point. Damn, one was 0.08. That's rough. That's rough. And Chase said, I might not do anything for a while, but people are talking up the Whittington kid. Yeah, because like at least like what they said kind of preseason, they're like, this guy runs routes like Cooper Kupp and Puka, and like Sean McVay's using them out there like Cooper Kupp and Puka. Man, I want to see it like on display, like in a game, you know, like I want to see it like on display in a game. Damn, Wilson tore my fucking LCL also. Can't fucking walk, sucks. So I have to move. Damn it. Move shit all around my house on Friday at midnight. Damn it, dude, that sucks. Did it happen while you were moving a whole bunch of shit? Or did it, like, what happened, man? Fuck. That sucks. And Green Anja, what up? Said, hey, how you doing? We're doing good. We're doing good. How you doing? How you doing? And Corey said, you already started waivers, or am I late? Yeah, well, a little late. We just did quarterbacks, though. Just quarterbacks. So I'm about to move on to running backs right now after this bowl. And if you want the quarterbacks, Corey, here they are. They're Sam Darnold, 14% rostered. Geno, 34% rostered. Carr, 20% rostered. Kirk Cousins, 54% rostered. And Aaron Rodgers, 53% rostered. Those were my QB waiver wire pickups for week 3. And Greenonja said, I got a bit of a tricky situation. 20-man league. Have Lazard, Shakir, Rome, Jacoby Myers, PPR. Who you thinking? If I got to start. So just remember, I'm still in waiver wire mode. I will answer this question, but do not take a Tuesday answer as the final answer. Okay. Just remember that Tuesday answers are not final answers. Because things could change. And as of right now, I'm going to look at the matchups real quick. Who the Bills got? Bills got the Jags. It's a good matchup. I don't want to start Lazard. I don't want to start him. They got the Patriots on Thursday night. I mean, it might be the matchup to actually start him because, you know, they're going to try to take Garrett Wilson fucking out of the equation. But I don't want to start him on Thursday night. Rome. Dude, they got the Colts. This is not that bad of a matchup. Probably just leaning on Jacoby Myers, man. Yeah, and the Jacoby Myers, they're at home versus the Panthers. That's who I'm thinking right now. Jacoby Myers. Yeah, so you're not liking Lazard this week. I low-key liked him for the Pats. Well, I mean, because they're going to try to take Garrett Wilson out and stuff, but if Lazard is considered the number 2, which I'm almost positive that he is, I bet you he's going to get taken out of the game also. Will said, yeah, it happened last night while I was moving. Right knee felt really structurally weak, and then I woke up in severe pain on the outside of the knee. Major swelling, major pain. Fuck, bro. That shit sucks, man. That shit sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. Chandler. Have 2 trades. Thoughts? 18 team. Tyreek for either Gibbs, Terry, and Fant or Rashee Rice. Ingram and Spears. I don't have a tight end, so I'm trying to add depth. I mean, I don't want to add depth if I don't want to add depth with Ingram. And Granada said, thanks. I'm going to ask again Thursday morning if you're around. Yep, every morning, bro. Every morning, just come back. Around this time, I'm usually live. And Sunday, I start even earlier. Saturday, sometimes that's the only day that maybe I won't have a morning show. And it just has to do with my son's football schedule. Sometimes I go live a little bit earlier on Saturdays. I mean, I like the Rashee Rice and Ingram one, I guess, a little bit more, but I also don't want to trade for Ingram. Like, is there any other options, you know, out there? People are willing to trade a tight end besides Fant and Broken Ingram. Tristan, would you trade Chris Godwin plus Gibbs for Jamar Chase and Rashad White? No. Dude, Godwin is killing it right now. He is killing it right now. Dude, do you know that right now Godwin is the number 1 wide receiver? Do we know that, guys, that he's the number 1 wide receiver in football right now? 49 points. Nico right below him. Jameson right below him. What up, Frank? We're just talking about your Raiders about to go up against the Panthers this week. And Grange also a tough situation. I had Jordan Love, had to pick up Malik. Oh shit, because there's nothing available. Yeah, 18-teamer. I was able to grab Thompson, Andy Dalton. Should I consider making one of them over Malik? Probably Andy Dalton. Yeah, I mean, I know the Panthers are ass, but I mean, they're playing against the Raiders. Sorry, Frank. I mean, I know the Raiders played the Ravens like it was their fucking Super Bowl and they like held Lamar down, but I don't know. I just think I don't think it's going to be exactly like that. And Frank said, "Whoever gifted me my membership last time, I must have missed it, but thank you." That was Nigel from Serbia. Chase said someone DM'd me asking what I want for Godwin. Left him on red. Yeah, I mean, I want the world, Chico, and everything in it. Like Godwin, assuming health. I mean, these are the kind of guys that really propel your team because you drafted them so late. No matter what, you drafted them late as hell. And it's guys like that who kill it. Guys like that who kill it for us. And John knows my cousin said he picked up Godwin the last 2 seasons and ends up disappointing. I have him this year and he's doing good so far. Well, here's the thing, John Dum. Some people, they get real jaded off of players' performances in the past. But the one piece why I was telling everybody to draft Godwin this year, because you're able to get him later than any of the previous years, was because they said they were moving him back to the slot. And that was the area that he feasted for years and years and years. And he's been feasting ever since for these first 2 weeks. And so playing in the slot, he's going to get a shitload of receptions. I mean, he's averaging 8 targets a game right now. It's freaking awesome, man. It's freaking awesome. Frank said Raiders all day. He said Dalton and Johnson, maybe Leggett could finally pop off. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Raiders are at home, and I mean the Raiders did shut down Lamar and company, last week. So I think the Ravens, they're one of those teams that have just been so good for so many years. And it's like teams are playing them as if it's their Super Bowl, man. You got to beat teams like that to be able to potentially make it in the playoffs, potentially get a playoff win. You got to win some of these tough games. All right, I'm finished this bowl, and then we're getting to the running backs. And it is ugly. It is ugly. Yeah, almost. It is. Almost don't even know what to do here with these guys. All right. Here we go. Got my players now. Get the first person up here. And I was saying maybe Chargers finally took that step to be a de facto number 2 team to beat in the AFC. Hell no, dude. I mean, maybe, but it's just because the Broncos are so trash. That's really the only reason why. So it's kind of like between the Raiders and the Chargers, who's going to be number 2 and who's going to be number 3. And John said Steelers guy here, just hoping Justin Fields keeps it up. I mean, the thing is, Steelers are always going to win, and not literally they're winning 100% of games, but they're always going to have a positive outcome at the end of the season. And it's like the QB definitely has a little bit, to do with that. But man, it's just like Mike Tomlin, and I really think as soon as Russell Wilson comes back, that he's going to be the guy over Fields. But it is definitely dangerous.
Too much of us is dangerous, so dangerous, we so dangerous.
Put it in the squad. They're dangerous. Frank said Joe Alt plus Harbaugh always right off the Donkeys and the Chargers, but kind of liking what they got brewing over there. They played against the Panthers. Plain and simple. They played against the Panthers, and sorry, they played against the Raiders week 1. So yeah, I'm not. Chargers always figure out a way to screw you, man, and I'm sure you know, being a Raiders fan. All right. Here we go. All right. What up? What up? We got all the positional waiver wires breaking down today, but they're all in separate videos. So if it's QB video, wide receiver video, IDP, team defense, go check them out. They're all on the channel here. Hit subscribe if you have not. We're talking about running back waiver wire ads, and it is ugly this week. It might be one of the worst weeks for waiver wire ads of the entire season. We did have an injury to Pacheco, but the one thing that sucks about him is the next man up or next men up. We got 3 of them here. Carson Steele. I mean, look at what he's done so far. I mean, he's only had 9 touches throughout the season. I mean, shit, he fumbled this last game, so he has like negative points. I would be picking him up as a speculative ad, but that is it. The Chiefs, they've been pretty whack offensively, and he's no Pacheco. And he doesn't pass block like Pacheco as well, so he's probably not going to be on the field the entire time. So would I pick him up? Probably, but you better not play him.
Pick him up!
The other flavor of the week for the Chiefs, Samaje Perine. I know there's going to be some people saying to go pick him up.
Pick him up!
I feel like he's going to be the third down guy. Like, if anything, I feel like Steele would be the guy over him who's going to get more touches. But I bet you Perine does get more receptions. I mean, he's only had 2 on the year. I mean, this was the Pacheco show, like, all the way. So I even think that these guys are going to be just used in a little bit more of a committee fashion than them anyways. And I got one more flavor of the week that all you guys are probably super excited about, ? Here you go for people mentioning Hunt right now. Here's the third flavor of the week at running back. It's Kareem Hunt, because we all got the news that he's went and visiting the Chiefs. We look at his stats from last year. It's really not that good. Like, I mean, you look at all these games, 2 single-digit games right there. And look at these, 16 points, 1 touchdown, 15 points, 2 touchdowns. But 15 points with 2 touchdowns, I mean, that means outside of the touchdowns, he scored 3 points off of everything else that he did. That's not that good. That is not good. I mean, everything here was touchdown dependent. Touchdown here, 13 points. Touchdown, 9 points. Touchdown, 9 points. 6, 2, 5, 10 points, 1 touchdown, 9 points, touchdown, 9 points, touchdown. So, and this was on a team that ran the ball a lot. The Chiefs do not run the ball a lot. So everybody in redraft who's thinking about picking up Kareem Hunt because like they're thinking of Kareem Hunt in 2017, just remember that was in 2017. Like, he was like, he's 28 now. Was he 21 when that was going on? He is no spring chicken anymore, and nobody in the NFL wanted him. And the only reason why he even visited the Chiefs is because they kind of love him. Well, no, they don't even love him, because they loved him at one point, and because they're probably the only team that really, really needs him that doesn't detest him. How about that? Because I don't think anybody really likes him like at all, or he would be on a team right now. So you want to go pick him up, go ahead. But I'm going to say don't even worry about Kareem Hunt. It sucks. Pacheco's out for 6 to 8 weeks, and you can almost guarantee that this is going to be a 2-headed committee, if not a 3-headed committee. So it is going to be, no matter what, it is going to be a headache for the Chiefs moving forward. But those are the 3 flavors of the week. We got a couple more guys who I'll suggest picking up as well, but it's ugly. Be prepared. And Kareem Hunt's been carrying people seasons for the last 3-4 years. Come on, man. No way. He hasn't even been that good for a couple years. And Frank said, I was thinking about trading away my Chase for Cheetah, but the owner wants Chase plus Wilson for Cheetah straight up. I just wouldn't even entertain that. Prime time. I have Saquon, Jordan Mason as my starting RBs. Mike Evans, Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, wide receivers. I have Monty Pickens. Do I trade Monty and Smith for Chase? I don't know, man. I mean, Chase, he's probably gonna come back and start stepping it up soon. But man, I mean, Devonta Smith, like he's gonna be the guy for a couple weeks over there. And even when he's not the 100% guy, he's still like a wide receiver too. I just think I would just want to rework this. I really would. I think I would just want to rework this somehow. Chase said Hunt's been the goal line vulture in recent years. I mean, yeah, but if he can't even get 10 points when scoring a touchdown, is that really worth it for fantasy? Like, come on. We want a guy in our flex who, even if he scores a touchdown, he still can't score 10 points. Like, I don't care about all the touchdowns. I care about the overall production. So if people are going to pick him up because he's a touchdown vulture,
Pick him up.
Go ahead. But when they get close for the Chiefs, they don't even run it a lot when they're in close. They really don't. And Dylan, what up? What do I do with Michael Pittman and DeAndre Swift? I mean, shit. Michael Pittman, he had 2 tough matchups over the last 2 weeks. I feel like better days are ahead. DeAndre Swift, man, I've never liked DeAndre Swift. Here's what I think about him.
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung, figuratively speaking.
Yeah, so I really don't like Swift at all. And Frank said last year, Hunt shared the backfield, running back by committee. So are you saying that you think a guy who's not good enough to be on the NFL roster right now, he's not on an NFL roster, are you actually saying that a guy who is not even good enough to be on an NFL roster right now is going to come in and be the workhorse for the Chiefs? Come on, bro. Like, just think about, like, literally, he's not on an NFL roster right now. He's going to come in and be the workhorse, like, for the Chiefs, 100% of touches? No. He's going to be part of a committee as well. Even if he gets picked up, he hasn't even been picked up yet. Will said Kareem hasn't even been fantasy relevant. Yeah, all he does is vulture touchdowns. All it does is hurt you guys. And of course, in terms of QB, who do you like this week? Mayfield, Purdy, Goff, Cousins, Carr. I'm in waiver wire mode, Corey. So just remember, like, I don't even know a lot of the matchups right now. Like that, I literally have to go look at the matchups to see who these guys are playing. So just remember, you're going to be asking me this again. Purdy versus the Rams on the road, probably not. Mayfield versus the Broncos. That's a good. I like that. Goff versus the Cardinals. Maybe. Cousins versus the Chiefs. Probably not. And then Carr versus the Eagles. Maybe. I think I'm going Mayfield on this. I mean, Mayfield's the number 1 QB in fantasy right now. I only ask because I own Mayfield. The rest are on waivers. Yeah, I'm just keeping Mayfield. Adema, what up? We got some more running backs to talk about here. Then we're going to switch up to wide receivers. Ghost Monkey, what are your thoughts on Jamar Chase? Do we try to get him now for the low? If you can get him for the low, yeah. I don't want to get him for, what other dude was talking about. Like that's not low enough for me. And Chase, you guys are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying he's only good for stealing touchdowns from other players. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that is all he's good for. Ruining other players' value. Flash, what up, bro? Quick question. Ayuk without Debo or Ford versus the Giants? Hopefully you heard me right now, Flash. Don't take a Tuesday answer as the final answer, okay? And I would go... Ayuk, who the hell do the 49ers play again? The Rams. Yeah, I'm probably going Ayuk. On this. And Ren said, hear me out. Hunt 29, Kamara 29. He said both people, both kick people, both got dreads. There's some similarities. There are some similarities. I'm with you. And Chris, he said, who your top RB and waiver wire pickups? Just hang on. Just pay attention. I gave the first three. It was the flavors of the week out of KC, Steele, P. Ryan, and Hunt. So just pay attention, Chris. That's what we're doing like right now. And you can ask me specific guys that you would target, how much percentage, fab would you put? And Rest Maniac, what do I do with Jordan Mason and J.K. Dobbins? It's on a team where I got shit running backs, but great wide receivers. Well, I think that they're saving you right now. I mean, I don't know what you do with them. I think you try to, potentially move one of your wide receivers, go get some more running back depth. But I mean, you're definitely going to play Mason and JK if you like, those are like your number 1 and 2 guys. Adema said 2-0 in all my 4 sleeper leagues. He said Wafers 1 is going to be mine this year. I like the confidence. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Now, outside of these KC flavors of the week that everyone's going to be like so enamored to get, because if you have Pacheco, you got to make a move like that. But Braylon Allen, now here's someone who I'm not super excited about necessarily, because he did get 4 targets. He did get 2 receptions. He did have 7 attempts rushing, and he had 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, 2 touchdowns out of 9 touches, like that is just like an insane type of touchdown percentage. Okay. Insane amount of touchdown percentage. I'm still not super excited about picking him up and starting him. They are going against New England, and then they got Denver the week after that. So, I mean, it's not like, against the running backs, he probably can get some things done. I would not pick him up and start him, though. Like, I definitely wouldn't do that. I mean, if anything that we're going to be chasing is going to be the volume. And I really don't think that Braylon Allen's going to get the volume moving forward. But if he's available in your league, you definitely got to go pick him up.
Pick him up!
Because we do got to make speculative ads here and there. We got to do it. And, yeah, there's worse running backs that you could get. And I'm going to talk about some of those guys very soon. And Flash, Sneaky thought CEH week 6 will start over the 3 hot take. Well, I mean, probably, but I mean, Kareem Hunt, I mean, CEH sucks. I mean, they all kind of suck. Like, that's the thing, that it really sucks, man. Magic Man, he said, what QB you like, for example, Skylar, Andy? Out of those 2, Andy Dalton. But yeah, I mean, I hope we're not diving that far down. Rustmania, 100%. I'm concerned with the Dobbins fall off, and when CMC returns, I have nothing. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be making moves, because I legit think that the Dobbins fall off is coming this week. If you could trade Dobbins for a running back and a wide receiver, or maybe just 2 running backs, that are maybe like you're buying them on the low, because he's had 2 great games. But they got the Steelers this week, and then they got the Chiefs next week. So I think it's going to be the exact opposite of games for him over these next 2 weeks. I mean, 2 really, really, really tough run defenses over the next 2 weeks. Ghost Monkey, how's the median work for best ball? Where do you find it on the sleeper app? You just go to the league page, I believe. And it said, well, if you go backwards, like to week 2 or whatever, it would say it adds up all the scores. And if you're higher than the middle, you get a win. If you're lower than the middle, you get a loss. 6 people get a win. Well, I mean, if you're best ball, 6 people get a win, 6 people get a loss because of how high or low they score. Magic Man, I went 9-1. The only one I lost in was the 32 Marvel we got. He said might be my last 32. He said with defense is too hard. He says messing with my sweep. I mean, 32 team, it doesn't matter if it's offense and defense or offense only. Like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It actually makes it easier with defense, because you can actually pick defensive guys up on waivers. There's really no offensive guys who are worth a shit on waivers right now. All right. Remember how I told you that it was going to be uglier? Well, man, we got Antonio Gibson. He's rostered in 16% of leagues, only had 7 touches in the first week, had 11 attempts in week 2, 96 yards. Only 1 reception, though. That's the thing. Like, when are they going to start, like, throwing the ball, like, to him? Is Jacoby Brissett just not a good check down guy or something? But Gibson, only 16% rostered. They got the Jets this week. They got the Niners the week after that. So, I mean, I feel like you do got to be pretty desperate. But the waiver wire is very, very thin this week at running back. So, outside of the 3 flavors of the week for the Chiefs, I have 4 other guys to talk about. Gibson is the second one, and we got 2 more. It's pretty ugly, but if you need a running back off the waiver wire, your running backs might be ugly as well. So let's make these moves. Let's pick them up.
Pick them up!
Jay said Dell for Jamar Chase. What do you think? If you're getting Chase, I would. And PJ said, okay, I'm dumb. I'm just now getting the double meaning of elevated sports talk. Man, it took you this long. I'm glad it's not that obvious, though, that even people who are smokers didn't even get. Man, that's fucking hilarious. That is hilarious. And Frank said Braylon Allen over any Chiefs running back, particularly Hunt. I think I would go Allen. I think I would go Allen over any of those guys because it's like I'm not going to start either one. So which one do I think is a more like longer term like type of like value add? And I think Allen would be that guy. The 3 flavors of the week, I mentioned them first. I don't even necessarily really like them. Oh, you haven't smoked for maybe that's why, bro. Because the weed be letting you know. The weed be letting you know. It's I smoke vicariously through you. I like it. I like it. Glad I could help. Strange and Andy Dalton, great human being. So happy he isn't on the Bengals anymore. I feel it, bro. And it's crazy that Bryce Young is so bad that Andy Dalton is actually starting. It's like, dude, this is the second time in 2 years that Bryce Young has been benched for Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton ain't really good. He's not. Oh, man, but this is the world that we live in. This is the world, this fantasy football world that we live in. I told you that I had some ugly players to add, and I am not disappointing because another rookie, Bucky Irving, who actually took a little bit of a step back in week 2 versus week 1. And I mean, Washington, anytime your players are going up against Washington, deploy them. Okay. I mean, you look here, he got 4 times the points as he did going up against the Detroit Lions. But if Rashad White, you know, if there's any kind of, you know, long-term issues with his health because of, you know, the injury that he sustained, and I don't foresee him not playing or anything this week, but maybe they start getting Bucky Irving a little bit more involved in the game. I mean, you look here, his snap percentage, 31% in week 1. It went a little bit up to 35% in week 2. And if that continues to rise, I don't think he's going to be a 50% guy, but you're here watching this video because your running backs probably suck right now, or you're trying to add depth. And I feel like Bucky Irving is going to be decent depth. They got Denver this week, and then they got the Eagles the next week. I mean, not horrible matchups, you know, but not the best matchups either. So this is more of like, don't pick them up and start them. But like a lot of these guys, like right now, like these guys are like pick up as speculative ads moving forward. So Bucky Irving, more of a speculative ad at this moment, unless Rashad White doesn't play. But it's Tuesday when I'm recording this, so make sure you're coming back for the injury reports throughout the week. And Russ, so what's your opinion on Rashad White? He's the guy if he's not hurt, but like you said, he got a little hurt, you know, and so like I don't think he's gonna miss this week, but you never know how these things play out, you know. So we just got to be watching. We got to be making moves as if the hurt player is not gonna play, because if we want to beat people, you know, to getting these players, we got to get them on Wednesday, because once more news starts coming out, he doesn't practice on Wednesday. That means everyone's going to go pick up Bucky Irving. Let's say he's limited on Wednesday or something, doesn't practice on Thursday, Friday. People are going to be going crazy going to pick him up, you know, whenever this news comes. So, you know, we just got to be ready, man. We just got to be ready. What? No way. No way. Let me go Google this, Flash. Oh shit. Oh shit. He arrested. This is from 10 hours ago. Sean P. Diddy Combs arrested and charged with trafficking. You know what kind of trafficking as well. Oh shit. Dude. It ain't all about the Benjamins no more for Diddy. Oh, man. Oh, man. So we'll be talking about that as more things come into play. But, man, is this going to be like, you know, is this like, you know, we got the OJ trial, and then we got the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard trial. Is this going to be the next big trial that everybody's watching? We might have to cover it. Chef Rance is going to sing like a bird. You already know he is. He's going to be like, damn, what is, I'm trying to think of that movie. New Jack City. Remember New Jack City at the end? This thing's way bigger than Nino Brown. He said, if I'm going down, I'm taking a whole bunch of people with me. Like, man, that's going to be P. Diddy. And get ready, because they already said P. Diddy's going to be bringing up people like Jay-Z, like Will Smith, Cuba Gooding Jr. Like, man, I mean, there's a whole bunch of names who are like P. Diddy's homies. And yeah, I think those are going to be some of the people that he's singing about. Chase said, you ever see the interview with the guy who used to be his bodyguard? Oh yeah. Yep. I can't remember what podcast I was on. Maybe he did a few different podcasts. Yeah, this took a long ass time. All this shit happened in March, right? Like, wasn't it March when all this was happening? Like, man. And Russ said, how you feel about Mostert? Washed or what? I mean, he's hurt. But I mean, A-Chain's clearly the guy, you know. Looked like that in week 1, way more than Mostert. And, you know, if Mostert was there, maybe A-Chain doesn't get as many touches as he does. But, yeah, I think it's A-Chain or bust, like right now. A-Chain or bust. Chef Rand said Drake. Will said, Hollywood P. Diddy, all these people up on. Yeah, said, let me know if you got the Simpsons reference. What, the Cauldron? Yeah. And Ryan said, would you use top waiver wire position on Carson Steele? You'd have to be really, really hurting. I talked about how I really don't like any of the 3 flavors of the week for the Chiefs, Carson Steele, P. Ryan, and Hunt. Those guys would be more like speculative ads, like for me. I think I would rather pick up a Braylon Allen, a Bucky Irving, or even this next guy who I'm about to mention, who I really don't like at all. Chef Rand, we'll be talking about him in the wide receivers. And Magic Man said Feds got over a 90% conviction rate. He better take a deal. You're wrong about that, Magic Man. 98% conviction rate from the Feds. So yeah, like if especially all this time, all they were doing was just, I'm sure they were just doing things to make the case stronger, you know, like they could have arrested him right then, but he's probably going to get out on bail anyways, right? Now it's going to be a little bit different. Hunter, what up, bro? He said he's back. What up, homie? We got one more running back that we're doing right here, and then we're going to be jumping into the wide receivers. Pause. Remember how I told you at the beginning of this show that I got some really ugly waiver wire guys for you to grab at running back. And I probably saved one of the ugliest ones for last because, oh man, Ty Chandler, what? It's ugly. It is ugly. And he's, you know, he's rostered in 29% of leagues. So he's not rostered anywhere. But, you know, his stats been pretty mediocre. You know, I mean, he had 7 points in week 1, 8 in week 2. I mean, this is a desperation ad because if you had Pacheco and you couldn't get anyone to the other guys for whatever reason, you had the 12th waiver wire and everybody else got all the other running backs before you. Just someone who could potentially get you 10 points, like maybe because he's at least had 10 touches in each of the 2 games. And if you're really desperate for running backs, you are trying to get guys who just get a little bit of volume. And that's what Ty Chandler get, just a little bit of volume. So yeah, you could do a lot worse than him, but it is a desperation ad. He's got the Texans in week 3. They got the Packers in week 4. Not, you know, not the best, not the worst, you know. It's ugly. It's ugly. I aim to please, and I try not to disappoint when I say I got ugly guys for you to add. It's ugly. So go watch all the other videos because I'm sure we got nicer guys than Ty Chandler to talk about. If you're into IDP, we got the IDP waivers. We got the defense and special teams waivers, tight ends, wide receivers, quarterbacks, everything. Go watch them. They're probably popping up right now. Click it, click it, click it, click it, click it. There we go. There we go. Running backs. Done. And yeah, 98 is wild. And I said, Huss, I swear I told the wife 98% last night. Oh, then Googled it and said 90% made me look dumb. Okay, well, you know, maybe you're right. I mean, Google's way smarter than me for sure. And, you know, I heard we both didn't hear 98% just like out of the fucking blue. Like it said 98% somewhere. And I remember that going in my mind when they were talking about this. I was like, Diddy's fucking done. Diddy is fucking done. 98%. And but if you Googled it, you know, we'll take Google's word. We'll take Google's word for it. So 90%. But that's hilarious though. See, there's no way in hell that you and I both heard this 98%, you know, just out of nowhere, you know, like it was mentioned somewhere. And Chef Rand said tackled him in high school. Who, Ty Chandler? Nice. Frank said for the top waiver wire ads, I have it like this: Alec Pierce, Hunter Henry, Braylon Allen. I mean, Hunter Henry's gonna have a really tough matchup like this week, but I feel, you know, speculative ad getting him on the bench, you know, I'm not mad at it, but yeah, I'd probably leave it like that. But one thing that I will say about Alec Pierce, it was like these first 2 weeks, these were the weeks to play him because of the cornerback matchup that is going, the cornerback matchup that Pittman went up against, and Pittman's not going to have as horrible of a matchup this week. And let's see, what Hunter say? So would you trade Laporta and Waddle for Metcalf and McBride? Probably. I mean, I really don't like making trades like this because it's just, you know, it's like a sidestep, you know, and I feel like when you take these sidestep trades, like really the way that you win is by an injury happening to a player that you traded away. But it could happen the same way where like you trade for someone and then they get hurt. So I feel like I would just want to make a more calculated trade. But in a nutshell, I feel like I would rather have Metcalf and McBride as of right now. But literally in 2 weeks, shit could change. Hey, Big Bando, what up, homie? What up, bro? Ghost Monkey said, either way, you're screwed. Yeah, 90%, 98%. Either way, ain't looking good. Ain't looking good. And yeah, I can't wait to hear I can't wait to hear who he starts singing about. Because you already know Diddy. I mean, man, there's gonna be you know, they say no Diddy. I mean, shit. They're gonna figure out some ones to you know, hit him with the Diddy. And PJ said, Lab Murray, Melvin Gordon, Isaiah Spiller. So I wonder if KC brings in any of them. I mean, they're all bums, man.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
I mean, Leonard Fournette, you know, like let's talk about another bum who's fucking big and out of shape and, you know, can't run fast. Like, you know, I doubt it. Chef Rand said Braylon runs hard as fuck. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And if he keeps getting 4 targets a game, I mean, you know, is he going to house one every time he gets out? Like, probably not. But those are the kind of things that we want out of a secondary running back on a team. Are you going to be able to get a handful of catches to kind of keep that floor high? 2 catches isn't going to keep the floor high, but if it keep, you know, 4 or 5 targets, 4, 5, 6 targets a game, that could be something where he starts holding his own independent value. Stranger said, I also had 98% in my head. I'm just saying, I know that I heard that somewhere. And seeing now we got another person who heard that somewhere, you know. Braylon feels like a fluke to me. Well, that's why I said don't pick him up and start him. Like he's all of these guys this week, speculative ads at the running back position. All of them. It is not good. It's not good. We're gonna have weeks where players are gonna get injured, and the next man up, we're really gonna like. You know, this is not one of those times because Pacheco got injured and there is no next man up. Like if it was McKinnon, it'd be different. Maybe they do go bring back McKinnon, but McKinnon also, you know, 2 years ago, he looked a lot different than he did this last year, man. He's no spring chicken. He's old.
Simmons is old.
And Chef ran. Colts got the Bears. That's a tough secondary. You know what? The Bears are a tough secondary, but I also feel like they have not lived. And maybe it's because of maybe the secondary is better when that rush is doing better because that rush is okay, but it's not that good. It's not looking that good. Downs is coming back soon, but I read somewhere AI5 was wearing a Pierce face on his shirt. Oh, okay. So he likes him. He really, really likes him. Big Bando, need an emergency flex. Do I go after Quentin Johnston, Jennings, or P. Ryan? I mean, I'll say Quentin Johnston is ugly. Chase says purely handcuffed, but I don't look good. As of right now, yeah. But what if he does start getting 4 to 6 targets like every single game? Like he legit could start coming into his own independent value, but we got to see those kind of targets, you know, every single game. If he's getting 2 to 4 targets every game, that's not that good. That's not that good. But those extra 2, he gets to 6, you get over 5. It's like, man, that makes such a big difference. And Corbin, what up, homie? What up, Corbin? And Stranger said in 2022, only 0.4 went to federal trial and got acquitted. See, look at that. And maybe it is by, and 1.9 went to trial and only 1.9 went to trial and got convicted. Most plea. For sure. I mean, because, dude, when they got that, when they got that much info on you, like, there is no, like, why would you go to court to get, like, hundreds of years sometimes for some of the shit that motherfuckers do, you know? Big Bando, you run any NBA leagues, bro? No. I mean, I might, like, host one for, like, the people, but, man, it's too much with me. Like, I could definitely host them for the people. But yeah, as far as like playing in, I wouldn't. It takes too much time away. But if there are people who want to join an NBA league, I mean, I can set one up. I could definitely set one up. Well, yeah, Chef ran and Brees gets hurt, Allen to the moon. But yeah, we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. Yeah, Turtle one read over 95% conviction rate due to plea deals. Yeah. Because when they got all this info, I mean, you don't want to be dumb and go to trial when you know, I mean, you know, people who know that they're guilty go to trial. But if they don't have all the evidence to where it's like a slam dunk, you know, slam dunk conviction, but the feds, a lot of times they do. A lot of times they do. Ryan said definitely the McBride DK side for me, for sure. And Big Bando said you set up. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's what I do. I commission these leagues for sure. Yeah. PJ NBA fantasies maddening. He said, fuck maintenance days. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's every single day, and you just got to be on it, right? You got to be on it. Mondo, what up, homie? Don't forget to bring a towel. Want to get high? Let's go. We made it through the running backs. And now we're going to be moving to the wide receivers. To the wide receivers. Big Bando say you get one gun. I definitely want a spot. Well, and seeing what would you want the buy-in? What would you want the buy-in to be? I remember last time I did it, people didn't really want to pay more than like $20. I think we got like 10 or 12 people like in there. Corbin said I moved Ridley in a wide receiver spot for Debo. I got Gabe Davis and got Judy Leggett on the bench. Start one or fish free agents. I mean, Judy's going to be one of the guys that Judy's going to be one of the guys who I'm going to be talking about on the waiver wire video. So, I mean, it's probably going to be him, but I probably would be fishing on the waiver wire as well. Because Debo, I mean, they say he's going to be out multiple weeks, right? I don't remember if they said he's hitting IR, but I think they said at least 2 to 3 weeks. Last thing I heard. We'll hear more tomorrow, I'm sure. Nobody really gives us any info on Tuesdays. PJ said, AKA, time to start. Time for us to stop shitting on JSN. Hey, there's still time. There's still time. I can still shit on him. Okay. There's still time. Okay. A couple games, coach said. Okay. Yeah. So we assume 2, right? We assume 2. And hey, Ghost Monkey set him in for fantasy basketball. Let me make a note. Here. And yeah, I mean, I'm down to commission any league that people want to play in. I'll be a good commissioner, set up the rules. We'll get all the buy-ins going. We'll keep it all on league safe, make it easy for everybody. But yeah, let me go make a note of this. And Big Bando, have you messaged me on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that before? If so, do that. All right. Let me see. All right, let's make a note here real quick. Basketball. And it would still be on Sleeper. Still doing it on Sleeper. Fuck everywhere else. And weekly moves would be capped. Okay, Big Bandos, I messaged you on Facebook last week. Couldn't remember, man. Dude, you know how many messages and shit I get all the time? Way too much for me to remember every single one. But I appreciate you, Big Bando. You the man. All right. And I mean, 50 is always going to be better than 20 if people are down. Long season too. Okay. Well, there we go. All right, got my note, so I will not forget about that. I'll work on getting some other people in. Let's see, when's the NBA season start? October what? October 22nd. Man, we still got more than a month to fill this. Might be able to fill a couple of them for all we know. Who knows? And Toyota wants to fire up Thielen, Andy Dalton back. I mean, you know, it's he's not the best, but look at what he did last year with them. Let's go see how many. Yeah, and you know what? I didn't even put him on there, but we better. Yeah. Okay. Been trying to trade for Deontay. Why? Save yourself, bro. JPZ, what up, homie? What up? Jay said, lost in the Snatcher Chain last week and lost to Monra. This week I won, and I'm taking Kamara. It's a crazy-ass league, right? Crazy-ass league. I lost in both of them, man, because one of them I had Cup in, and they stole them last week. Karma's a bitch. But then I lost again, man. Fuck. Rust Maniac. I dropped Goff for Carr. Is there anybody else that you can drop? Anybody else you can drop? JP's, he said, yep, missed ATL talk, but he said, I got the dub. A dub is a dub. Let's go. Also, should I stash Jordan Love too? I would. Hell yeah. All right. Here we go. Wide receivers. All right. What up? What up? We got another waiver wire video. This one we are breaking down the wide receivers. Hit subscribe if it's your first time here watching on replay. Also got IDP waivers, defense and special teams waivers, and all the positional waiver wire videos. So go check that out. They'll probably be popping up at the end. I got 8 wide receivers to mention here. And depending on your league, we'll see who you got to pick up.
Pick them up.
Let's get down to biz. The flavor of the week is obviously going to be Quentin Johnston.
Well, obviously.
He's only 8% rostered. Went up against the Panthers. Only had 5 targets, or 6 targets, 5 receptions. Had 3 receptions last week. So he's not going to be an ultra target monster. Efficiency is going to be his friend. And they go up against Pittsburgh this week. And I don't know if he's going to have a super efficient week against Pittsburgh. So, I mean, you can pick him up if you want, but I don't think that I would be picking him up and playing him. So I would just be very cautious about Quentin Johnston because he can't catch. You know, he came down with a few, but he's going to disappoint. I just already feel that. But he is the big flavor of the week. Only 8% rostered, got those 2 touchdowns. Everyone saw him whoop on the Panthers. So I know people are going to be picking him up. I'm going to say be very cautious with Quentin Johnston. Big Bando, I don't understand what everyone sees in Steele. It's the hype, man. It's the hype. That's what everybody sees. I mean, the opportunity, now, but now, just like the running back video, if you watch that, we got some ugly options. And I got another ugly option for you here. Adam Thielen, who's only rostered in 25% of leagues. He's been trashed so far, but a lot of that trash is because of his quarterback play. And now Andy Dalton's actually going to come in and play and be the starter. And when Adam Thielen and Andy Dalton connected last year, it was way better than any other time that Adam Thielen was playing last year. Was the time when Andy Dalton was his quarterback, and Andy Dalton's coming back. So I would say pick up Adam Thielen if you can.
Pick him up
and ride him for this Andy Dalton wave, because it legit could be just like 2 or 3 games like it was last year. But we got to do our due diligence, and Adam Thielen probably got dropped in like so many leagues that he's available in your league because now only 25% rostered on Redraft Yahoo League. Oh, where's Stranger at? Here is another wide receiver who I would say pump the brakes on. Like, a lot of people are going to be super hyped about Yoshi, Mr. Andre Iosivas, a.k.a. Yoshi on the Bengals. He went up against KC this past week, had 2 touchdowns, only 4 targets, 2 receptions, 7 yards, but had the 2 touchdowns. Now, I love it if you were starting him and you happen to get this production, but I doubt it because he's only rostered in 7% of leagues. Probably wasn't even started in that many leagues at all. So don't chase these 2 touchdowns. It'll be the death of you if you try to chase things like this. So don't chase it. I would say pick him up.
Pick him up
because they're going up against Washington next week, and Washington is so trash that everybody could do something. And then they also have Carolina like right after that. So might not be the best, but he has like 2 really great matchups coming up over the next 2 weeks. That's the one thing that you can lean on with Yoshi right now. All right, and just hang out, guys. Let me just run through the wide receivers really quick, and then I'll answer the chat. We're going to continue with the ugliness. I'm going to Jalen Naylor here. 9 points in week 1, 14 in week 2. Had a touchdown in each of the first 2 games. Not crazy yardage, not a bunch of crazy targets or receptions. But if anything is going on with Justin Jefferson, because we already know things are going on with Addison. That's why Naylor is even like kind of been a thing over the first couple weeks. So we got to monitor these Minnesota injury reports. And yeah, Naylor, pick them up.
Pick them up.
Not sure if you're going to use them yet, but got to do your due diligence. Now here is another ugly ad. He was an ad last week. He disappointed, but now that Cup is gone, it's Tyler Johnson that we're talking about for the Rams, for anyone listening in audio. Speculative ad. I feel like we know that it's going to be DeMarcus Robinson. Like he's going to be more than likely going to be the number one guy. But Tyler Johnson, probably going to need him. No Puka, no Cup. You could do a lot worse. They got San Fran this week, and then they got Chicago the week after. Tough-ish matchups for sure. Oh, stranger, I was talking about Yoshi. It's all good. We're sticking with the ugly trend, and now we are coming to Josh Reynolds on the Denver Broncos. Denver is probably one of the worst offenses in the league, but for whatever reason, Reynolds, he's the guy who's getting the targets over there. He had 8 week 1, he had 5 week 2, and he had 93 yards this past week against Pittsburgh. They got Tampa Bay and the Jets coming up, 2 tough matchups. I feel like they're just going to be trailing in so many games that Josh Reynolds could be one of those garbage time guys who you really you don't want to watch their game because it's probably going to be trash for most of it. But then the last couple drives of the game when they're getting the shit pounded out of them, then Josh Reynolds is probably going to be a guy who comes up with a couple late catches, maybe even a late touchdown. I don't know. Broncos don't really score touchdowns, though. All right. Almost done. Now jumping over here, Jalen Tolbert. He is only rostered in 2% of the league, so very, very available. 9 targets this past week, 82 total yards. They got the Ravens coming up and the Giants after that. Ravens, toughish matchup. Giants, not so much. And Cook seemed like a good pick, but it's like Dak just kind of keeps spreading it around. And I thought that Cooks, might be the guy who has a big increase in targets because of Jake Ferguson going down. But hey, Tolbert, he's the guy who got the bump in week 2. Let's see. Could do a lot worse. He's only 2% rostered. Go pick him up if you're desperate.
Pick him up.
And last guy here. Last guy here, Jerry Jeudy. It is very ugly, but he was looking solid over this past game. I mean, nothing crazy. He only had 12 points. It was 5 receptions for 73 yards. A lot better. Well, I guess he had the touchdown week 1. So, but way better numbers outside of the touchdown from week 1 to week 2. And yeah, Watson sucks. Just like Chewy said, Watson sucks. He definitely needs a better QB. Jerry Jeudy has been plagued with bad quarterbacks ever since he came into the league. He's out there working tough. He's rostered in 41% of leagues. That probably went down after week 1, but readily available. They got the Giants this week. They got the Raiders the week after, and then you got Washington after that. So, I mean, that's 3 pretty good matchups for wide receivers back to back to back, and he's averaging about 80% of the snaps. So I think you could do a lot worse than Jerry Jeudy. So go pick him up.
Pick him up.
And go check out all the other waiver wire videos, IDP waivers, team defense waivers, all the other positional waiver wire videos. They're probably going to be popping up right now. Click it. There we go. Wide receivers in the can. Yeah. Could be worse, PJ. That's for sure. Could definitely be worse. What did Big Bando say? Gus Dowdle, Shaheed, Derrick Henry. Which side wins? I'll just take Derrick Henry. I mean, I know those other guys, Shaheed, he could be all right. I mean, he's looked pretty solid over the last couple weeks, and now he's rostered in more than 50% of leagues. So, well, actually, I think even week 1 he was, because I couldn't even mention him week 1 because he was already over that threshold. I think I would rather have Derrick Henry. Chewy said Watson's mid, Judy making him look good. I mean, he only had 5 catches for 73 yards. I mean, he's definitely not making him look amazing or anything out there. All right, let's smoke another bowl before we get to the tight ends, because, man, yeah, that is everybody's favorite part. Everybody's favorite part, right? These damn tight ends. And we already know what the number 1 flavor of the week is going to be, but, man, does he have 2 tough matchups coming up. Chewy said, I like to talk crazy. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Let's smoke it up. Last week when I did this show, started later. Started at like 8:30 and took about close to 4 hours to do the show. We're looking good. We're looking good right now. We've already made it through 3 positions. We're going to get through the tight end and special teams here real quick. Then we're going to take another little quick break, and then we'll get to IDP. And Abraham, please remember, do not take a Tuesday answer as the final answer for the week. Okay, please do not take a Tuesday answer as the final answer for the week. And Abraham said, start Wilson or Shaheed. I'm leaning Wilson as of right now. They got New England, so that's something I'm kind of worried about. And yeah, I mean, the week goes on. I could potentially say Shaheed, but I'm saying Wilson as of right now. All right. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're rocking. We're rocking. Chase said mid sounds generous for Watson. Yeah, that's for sure. Because mid at best, right? Mid at best. Okay, you know what? Let's do one more bowl before the tight ends. Everybody with me? Everybody with me on that? And then we'll knock out the tight ends and the defense and special teams. Man, it's so funny. Did you guys hear Lee coming in earlier? Man, because now he's doing content with those other guys. He kind of seems like a low-key hater, like right now, because he's still on Patreon. But like I posted news in Patreon, and he was like, "Yeah, we all everyone on the internet kind of saw this." Like, dude, it's like, sorry, I don't pay you anymore to do that. Sorry, the new guys aren't paying you to to send them all the news. But yeah, he seems a little bit. Then today he comes in. I mentioned Kareem Hunt, and he's like, Kareem Hunt, he isn't even eligible to play until week 5 or week 6 or whatever. And then I said it doesn't make sense, and then he like sends me the clip, sends me the thing on Yahoo, and he didn't read the whole thing. So goofy. But yeah, we gotta watch out for some of these guys who are doing content with the other team. Because some of them seem a little weird right now. What up, Troy? What up, Troy? What was so funny? What was so funny? Nerd alert. He said, pack it up. Let's go. Let's go. And Troy once said, man, week 3 lineups are looking really ugly in one league. Got like 7-8 guys that are out or questionable. Yeah, so many decisions. So many decisions. This is fantasy football, though. And like the guys who make the best moves out there, because everyone has injuries right now. Like everyone has injuries right now. So everyone's dealing with this to some extent or another. Okay. And we're going to be better than all those guys. We're going to be better than all those guys. We're going to make you got to make waiver pickups every week, whether you need it or not. There's always like value for these players. It's either growing or it's dying. You know, there's like no in between. Either these players' value are growing on my bench or they're dying on our bench. And I really feel like not hanging on to some of these guys, you know, for extra weeks, kind of giving them the chance. I feel like that's how we're going to make our money, you know, making sure to get some of these guys earlier rather than after they fully hit, you know. And too funny. Yeah, loving your haters. I mean, you know, they keep us in business, I guess. They keep us in business. But yeah, like and then he like messaged me like right after. He's like, look, man, I'm totally right. It's like, no, bro, you're totally not right. All you got to do is read. All you got to do is read. And yeah, so thanks Toyota One for pointing that out even before he sent me that. Cause yeah, I knew it didn't sound right. Knew it didn't fucking sound right. And Toyota One actually read it and he was like, man, these guys just aren't even reading it. Robert said DK and JSN top wide receiver duo now. I mean, for week 2, but like, I don't know, like look at week 1. It was Lockett. Lockett outperformed both of them. So I just say that they're one of the best trios in the NFL, if not the best trio in the NFL. But no, after one game, I'm not going to crown JSN yet after one game. Not yet. Because Lockett has been hurt these first 2 weeks. And even being hurt in the first week, he still outperformed everybody. Being hurt in the second week, but went up against New England, he got taken out of the game. Yes, it was ugly. Toyota Ones, that gives you content for sure. Oh, yeah. And seeing, I mean, I don't know how much I want to like feed into that as well. Because I don't want to sound like a hater. Because like I don't give a fuck what they do. You know, like they can do whatever they want. But when you come over here hating for whatever reason, because my show just started an hour before your show started and come over hating, you know, then then you have to call a spade a spade. I mean, it is what it is. PJ said Tomlin said Fields is still starting. They should trade Russ to Miami. I mean, he's got no kind of contract, right?
Too much of us is dangerous. So dangerous. You're so dangerous. My flip phone squad is dangerous.
Yes, it depends on how long Tua is going to be over there. Frank said Huntley to Miami. Yeah, but Huntley ain't gonna be nothing. Like Huntley might not even start over Skylar Thompson. Like maybe, but I don't know. Maybe they get him to like just go out there and run. Sergio said Jacob Cowing 49ers. I don't know. What about him? Is he running back? A wide receiver? Yeah. I mean, I mean, Jennings probably, if anything, right? Because of Debo, but I don't know. Jennings and Debo, like, they're totally different, like, type of players. I think the 49ers are screwed, honestly, because Brock Purdy's not that great of a quarterback. And, like, now it's going to show. When you don't have all of your weapons on display, things are going to change for sure. And, like, let's see what Purdy... Because now it's going to be funny because like the 49ers peeps, when you talk about how Brock Purdy has all these great weapons like around him, like how is that even like an excuse or like knock on him that he has all these good players around? Now let's see what he does when he doesn't have all the good players around. Because week 1, 10 points, week 2, under 18 points, even though he did get 300 yards, still 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like, I mean, that's not fucking good. And they lost to Minnesota. You got the Rams, you got a division game coming up, and then you got New England, then you got another division game in Arizona, like coming up. So I think a lot of the things that I've always been saying about Brock Purdy are going to come to fruition. Toyota One said Niners' 2 best weapons are out. Not good. And seeing like, yeah, and I know Debo would still be considered one of the best too, but like I feel like Ayuk almost took that jump like over Debo. But still, even that. Even that still got Ayuk and Kittle. Even if you're not counting Mason, because I really wouldn't. He's okay, but I think he just caught everybody by surprise. And PJ said, oh, shit. He said that douche Stephen A. called Bryce Young Jamarcus Russell today. Free Bryce Young. Trade his ass to Miami. Yeah. And, you know, like, it's funny because, like, Jamarcus Russell is still just the biggest, like, bust of, like, all time. But, like, Trey Lance, he's still the biggest bust of all time. Biggest bust of all time. Not even close. All right. I know I said one more bowl 2 bowls ago. But we're going to do another bowl for these tight ends. So we're just going to... I like answering your guys' questions versus covering tight ends. Tight ends suck, especially this week. This season, actually, because it's not even just this week, this whole season. Frank said Raiders would take Young for a 4th. Maybe, right? Gardner Minshew's looking good out there as of right now, though. Or for Tyree Wilson. That shit's hilarious. Try to when they scheme a lot through Debo and CMC, but yeah, opens it up for other guys. For sure. Yeah. I mean, just everything about the 49ers is predicated off the run. So, like, yeah, CMC and Debo, like, I mean, those are, like, for the most part, the 2 running backs that get deployed most of the time, for sure. Mike doesn't Gesicki. I can't believe I got to talk about that guy. I can't believe I got to talk about him. Ghost Monkey said just got offered Devontae Adams for Ken Walker and Singletary from the Giants. I don't want to move Walker. I wouldn't either because I don't know. I mean, it is super tempting, just like Frank said. Because Singletary, I mean, kind of whatever, right? Why don't you try to get someone else besides Devontae Adams in the mix? Because I know Adams just had a good game right now, but he also had a pretty blah, first game. I mean, it might not seem as bad if you get someone in the mix coming back as well. Because I'm sure Singletary is just whatever to your team. Woo! All right. Let's go. But yeah, it is super tempting. But yeah, I wouldn't want to lose Ken Walker either. All right, I'm trying to make this tight end short and sweet. Even though it's probably going to be loose and stinky. Okay. Because, yeah, there's nothing out there worse than loose butthole. And these tight ends, definitely the loose butthole of the NFL. That's for sure. Yes, Liam, you saved me from starting the tight ends. Yes. Liam, what would you trade away Mike Evans? Would you trade away Mike Evans for Waddle and Lockett? No, I would not. I know Mike Evans sucked this week, but I wouldn't make that trade. Dang it. Wish it was a longer type of question. Oh, hey, Watt saved me. Yes. What up, bro? And he said, good afternoon, guys. Said the center be having them loose cheeks. Oh, man. All right. I've held it at bay long enough. Held it at bay long enough. Let's do it. What up? What up? We have made it to everybody's least favorite position for the waiver wire, tight ends. Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll call it the loose ends over here from now on because it sucks, man. And I got some ugly options for you guys. Like waiver wires are always a little bit ugly. Tight ends usually the ugliest of them all. But I got 5 guys here who might be able to save you if you got tight end troubles over there. And hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into it. First guy, Hunter Henry. Best thing about Hunter Henry, 12 targets, 8 receptions, 109 yards. I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome. I mean, only George Kittle scored higher in week 2. Now, that's the good part. The bad part is he's going up against the Jets and he's going up against the 49ers in the next 2 weeks, and that sucks. That sucks. So I would say if you are desperate, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
But he does have 2 matchups going up against 2 of the best teams that defend the tight end. So even when good stuff happens with the tight ends, then we got bad stuff that happens like this as well, like future matchups. All right, I'm just going to try to get through this real quick. Let's continue the ugly train here. Mike Gesicki. Should we get Gesicki with it? Nah. Don't do it. Don't do it. And yeah, like our man PJ says, get Gesicki with it. Man, he sucks, dude. He sucks. Did have a good game, though. 9 targets, 7 receptions, 91 yards. I mean, but man, look, just a yin and yang of his first game and his second game. He did get more snaps in week 2 than in week 1. They do go up against Washington this week and then Carolina the next week after that. So that's really the only saving grace that he does have. And that Burrow looked a little bit better in week 2 than in week 1. So if you dare, go get Gesicki with it. But I'm still going to say, nah. All right. Who the hell else we got over here? Oh, man, this fucking guy. This is how ugly tight ends are right now. And I got to talk about Jonnu Smith being a guy. And with Tua, Jonnu wasn't going to get a bunch of receptions, a bunch of targets and all that stuff. But now we got backup quarterbacks coming in who are probably going to want a short target, not him physically being short, but just a short depth of target to go to. And that was Jonnu. I mean, shit, 6 receptions for 53 yards, you know, and that's a top tight end like on the week. Like if you get over 50 yards, you are a top tight end on the week. Like that's how horrible the tight end position is. And with these backup QBs coming in and not Tua, he might start getting 5 receptions a game. It's going to be ugly, and he may only get 40 to 50 yards and probably not getting a touchdown because I doubt Miami's scoring a lot of touchdowns. But if you dare, pick him up. All right, almost done. Now I'm going to start read out the chat. It just keeps getting uglier and uglier. It really does. I got 2 more guys to talk about. Make sure you subscribe. I know you may want to turn the video off because it's getting ugly and ugly. Subscribe right now. Turn on the notifications. Let's do it. And Zach Ertz. 10 points versus the Giants. They got Cincinnati this week. Not the best, not the worst. You got Arizona in the next week. 4 targets a game. He had 4 receptions. He had 62 yards. And like I said, if you get over 50 yards in a game, like you're going to be one of the top tight ends on the week because the tight end position is so horrible. And I feel like with Jaden Daniels, he's been very consistent at the way he's thrown to him. 4 targets in each of the 2 games. He played 65% of snaps this week, 71% like last week. So he is the guy who's playing the most snaps for the tight end, but it is ugly. It is ugly. So if you need to come down this far in the waiver wires, go ahead and pick him up.
Pick him up!
We've dug our way to the bottom of the tight end trash can, and I flicked a couple things out of the way. And here he is, the shiny piece of doo-doo, Ben Strange. All of this is about Evan Ingram being in or out. If he is out, Strange is someone who, if you are desperate, you could start. He's no Ingram, but Ingram didn't even do that good in week 1. But 6 targets, 3 receptions, 65 yards. If you have over 50 yards in a game, you could legit be a tight end 1. So that's just why I'm saying Ben Strange. At least we know that he plays on a team that they target the tight end, you know, at least a little bit. And this is all about Evan Ingram, if he is going to play or not. But I told you it was going to be ugly. I hope I did not disappoint. I saved the ugliest one for last, Mr. Brenton Strange. You guys need some Strange in your life? Go pick them up.
Pick them up.
But it's ugly. Like I said, subscribe, hit that like button, and go check out all the other positional waiver wire videos. We got the defense and special teams. We got IDP. Go check out that IDP video. And we got all the other positional videos. They're probably popping up right now. So click them, click it. And Chase, he said, dumb question, but you're going over these guys based on how you had prioritized them. Yes. Not every, this is how I would prioritize them if everyone was available to me. That's another thing. So like people are, you know, depending on who you have, you know, who is there. I mean, tight ends, I mean, all these guys should be available, but just, you know, the running backs, the waiver wire, the quarterbacks, all that. I'm putting these guys in order how I would prioritize them. But it's going to also be about, you know, who's available in these leagues as well. Might not have everyone available who I'm talking about. But I do mainly talk about guys who are available in 50% of leagues or less. I mean, shit, Strange is 0% rostered. All the tight ends that we talked about. I mean, Gesicki, 5% rostered. Jonnu, 6%. Zach, 8%. Hunter Henry's the only one who's actually rostered. He's 25% rostered. But even then, pretty much available everywhere. Bakes, what up, homie? We made it through all the positional videos. We got defense and special teams, and then we got IDP. All right. And sounds good, Bakes. I just saw your message. Perfect. I have not checked email. Well, yeah, I have not checked emails this morning. Let's just say that I haven't. All right. But we are moving. Last week's waiver wire video took 4 hours. We're 2.5 hours in right now, and we only got the defense and special teams and the IDP left to go. We're doing good. And Frank said, the Rams remaining healthy wide receivers, how would you rank them? Johnson, Whittington. Well, I mean, where's Demarcus Robinson? He would be number one. Oh, that's how you would rank him. Yeah. Why don't you have Demarcus Robinson in there? But yeah, Tutu is going to be a thing. I totally didn't mention him. I should have. But let's see. All right. Defense and special teams. The ugly of the ugly. A lot of teams scored over 10 points in the defense category last week. Speed Demon, what up? Said, I got a PPR keeper league question. I trade Kelsey and Kamara for Brock and draft pick 3rd round for next year. Bowers has a 15th round keeper tag forever. Okay. I mean, that's super good. Am I asking way too much for the 3rd round pick? My trade partner is in need of wide receiver help and is still willing to buy Kelsey. Well, you have to explain to me that 3rd round pick. So, like, is that just, I mean, because I know, like, how many keepers get kept in this league? I know that they may not be picked before the 3rd round or whatever, but they're going to be on the board somewhere and they're not going to be available to you. How many keepers in the league? Is it only 1 keeper per league? Because if so, that 3rd rounder, I mean, that's almost, I mean, kind of like a 2nd rounder then, right? Or no, it'd be like a 4th rounder. Right? Am I doing that wrong? Either way. But yeah, let me know how many keepers you actually get. And I mean, I'd be willing to do that. I mean, looks like Brock Bowers is going to be the guy, but Minshew's not going to be the guy forever either. And Minshew's kind of always targeted the tight end like this. Six teams, 3 keepers each. 3rd rounder shouldn't be too much. I would think it wouldn't be, not with 6 teams. Jonathan said, I need 1 running back, 1 flex. Just remember, don't take a Tuesday answer as a final answer, homie. Robinson, Dobbins, JSN. Worthy Bowers. PPR. 1 point for first downs. Jeez. As of right now, Brian Robinson and Bowers could change. Could change. Yes, sir. Thanks for coming through, Speed Demon. Appreciate you. And if you have Amazon Prime, use your Amazon Prime to subscribe for free on Twitch, or just hit the subscribe button and join. $5 a month. Get access to all the custom 420 crew emojis that we got in here. Plus more. Frank said, I forgot Robinson. He's my 3, then 2-2. I haven't seen much film on him, but I'll check. Okay. All right. Defense and special teams. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome back for everyone who is following the defense and special teams waiver wire videos every week. We've been doing this for a couple years now, and we are always hitting on defenses that are available in your league that you should pick up and start. Let's do it. Let's get down to biz. Hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here. We're bringing this video weekly. Plus, IDP waiver wire. You go play an IDP, go check that video. And we got all the other offensive position waiver wire videos there as well. So go check them all out, because we're going to be your biggest resource for fantasy football throughout the season. And the first team that I'm talking about here, they've been a little blah over the first 2 weeks, for sure. But now you got the Broncos. And the Broncos have been giving up the bootay to the defense and the special teams. Broncos, I mean, they haven't even scored a passing touchdown for the entire season yet. So this is the kind of team that we want to target with our defense and special teams. And they're only 6% rostered in redraft leagues. A little bit different here on Sleeper, but 6% rostered. They are readily available. I know they have no Antoine Winfield, but they still got solid guys all over the place. Maybe if Vita Vea does not play this week, because I know he got hurt, maybe I would change my tune. But assuming Vita Vea plays, I'm starting them. Make sure you come back here for the weekly injury reports, the day-to-day injury reports. All right. We are getting spicy. We are getting spicy in week 3, okay? Because I'm bringing up the Raiders right now. The Raiders really haven't been that good, but they did show some signs of life last week versus the Ravens. They got the Panthers this week. So this is a pick up and start and then drop next week for another waiver wire defense. That's what you should be doing pretty much every week anyways. If you're streaming, you should be picking up the flavor of the week, who's got one of the best matchups of the week. And the Raiders versus the Panthers, I mean, look at last week at the Chargers. Chargers didn't do amazing, but they got over 10 points. And that's really what we're trying to do with these defenses, get over 10 points, because there's going to be so many bad defenses that people keep and screw you over. We're trying to get dubs around here. Let's go. All right. I'm just going to knock out. We're just going to knock this out. Let's keep it going. Continuing with the great matchup trends, I got the Packers this week, and they weren't really that great of a matchup last week versus the Colts after what they did in week 1. And they had a solid outing. They really did. They didn't give up a bunch of points. They got 3 interceptions. It was pretty good for them. Very, very solid. And even though their offense sucks, doesn't really matter, because it's all about the defense. And you got the Titans in week 3, who, I mean, they showed signs last week, and they handed the ball off to Ridley, but the quarterback sucks. The quarterback sucks. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to throw an interception or two. McKinney, he's got an interception in each of the first 2 games, and they can get after the quarterback a little bit as well. So I'm saying the Packers, they're only 16% rostered, readily available. And my number 5 defense, that's the defense that I'm saving for the end because I think that that's going to be the best play of the entire week. So normally I do these in order of like everyone who I like, but team 5, that's the best one of this week. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's how I'm going to do it for defense and special teams to make them stay until the end. I may start doing that with every single video with the waiver wire, making the very last person, the person who I want over everybody else. Here we go. The Bengals, they're 20% rostered. They did solid enough versus KC. I mean, they put up 10 points last week, even though they weren't a team who I said to pick up or anything. This week, though, you got Washington, and then you got Carolina the next week after. So that is 2 teams that are very, very solid against the these are 2 teams who give up booty to the defense and special teams. Okay. Washington and Carolina. Carolina, obviously, a lot more. You're starting whoever you can against Carolina every single week. Hence the Raiders pick a little bit earlier. And we got one more team to talk about, and they're going to be my number 1 team to pick up if they are available in week number 3. And Watt said, sounds like a better route, buddy. For sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I just put in for Tampa. Hopefully it works out. Thinking about taking anyone who plays the Bears with that offensive line. No, they're not playing the Bears. They're playing the Broncos. Who are also trash. Their quarterback hasn't even thrown a touchdown yet. Here we go. Here is my last team and my favorite team to pick up on waivers. Now, they are rostered in 41% of leagues, so maybe not as readily available as some of the other ones, but I told you to pick them up for week 1 versus Denver. They got 11 points. We didn't really say start them versus New England. They were one of the teams that we threw up there, but that was one of the kind of later picks. But this is the smash pick of the week right here because they are playing at home versus Miami. We got no Tua. Look at how they looked last week versus the Bills. Seattle always plays better at home than on the road because of the 12th man. So hit that subscribe button if you have not, because we're bringing the heat every single week until your championship. We're going to help you get it. So make sure you're coming around. We got the IDP waiver wire video. We got all the offensive position waiver wire videos. They should be popping up right now. Click it, 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 click it. There we go. All right. Yeah, if the sea chickens are available, go pick them up.
Pick them up.
Go pick them up. All right. And dang it, totally did not mark when we started the defense and the special teams. Watt, would you keep Benson or Rico for the depth? Rico as of now. And Frank said, would you drop Lazard for Benson depth piece? I mean, there's nobody better than Benson out there right now. Or, I mean, is he the best guy, or do you just want him because you think Connor's going to go down? But I would drop Lazard for, some waiver wire guy. Like, that's half of the question that you're asking. Lazard was the flavor of the week last week. He didn't hit. And most of the time it's going to be Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall anyways. So, guys like Lazard, it was nice. It was a failed experiment. There'll be games where he does good, but, he's just not someone that we need to roster like that. All right. Now, we got the IDP. Let's get it. Okay. Yeah, this week there's going to be there's a lot of good guys to talk about on IDP. I mean, shit, just looking right now, so many guys that I want to mention who are so many guys I just want to mention. And Frank said, well, it's either Braylon Allen handcuffed to Hall, or if someone beats me to it, then Benson, long-term value. So I'm super stacked in this league. Mahomes, Hall, A-Chain, Adams, Rice, Bowers, Kamara. Okay. Solid. Yeah. I mean, I would say Braylon Allen, like as of right now. He'd be the one that more people would be trying to pick up right now than Benson anyways. I mean, if you can't beat if you can't beat him, then go for a Benson if you want. PJ, peace out, brother. Have an elevated day. Sure. We're gonna continue that right now. Thanks, my brother. Have fun at work. And Abraham, should I target AJ Brown on a trade? Now I got Chase, Watson, and Gabe Davis to trade. I mean, I wouldn't trade Chase I would be trying to figure out how to team up Chase and AJ Brown. So I mean, yeah, I would be willing to go trade for him. It sucks. It's a hamstring. Like, that's the thing that just sucks, because like there's always a fine line of like bringing these guys back too early and then them getting hurt again and then just dealing in this whole fucked up situation, for just for the whole season, Hey, Bob in the house. What up, bro? You tell your son that he sucks? Still, week 2, still no passing touchdowns for the kid. Man. I'm sure you guys have like weekly phone calls and stuff. Those phone calls get shorter as he starts doing bad. Watson, back to the hospital. Havoc problems, bro. Hope you're okay, dude. Hope you're okay, man. Yeah, safe travels, bro. Hope everything's okay. When you get into the hospital, pull us up. All right. IDP. Going to be the longest section of the day. Always is. Okay. Yeah, what? Bob said, told him to bring a towel. Don't forget to bring a towel. Okay. All right, one more bowl before we go to IDP. Oh, he's working. Okay. I did not know what the HVAC was. I had no idea what that was. So good. He's going to work. Okay. Thank you for clarifying, Corbin. I'm not immersed in the medical lingo. I am not. And I don't even like playing a doctor on TV. That's why I nominated someone else as a doctor when he used to be on the show. Okay, so I'm good. It's work. He said heating and cooling problem with them, not me. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Stay safe out there. So get that devil's lettuce in you. Here we go. Who's ready for IDP talk? Who's ready for the IDP talk? This was the IDP waiver wire video was the most successful waiver wire video last week, and I'm very excited about that because I know more people are playing in IDP and more people are searching for that shit, and nobody's giving it to them. But we give it to them. We give it to them right around here. Let's go. Let's go. Bob said, so is Kirk droppable at this point? Jacksonville looks shitty. I have to think that they get it together a little bit. I don't see them not getting it together just a little bit. The fuck? Drop Christian Watson for steal. I wouldn't unless you're super desperate at running back. Got to be super desperate at running back for that one. Damn. Someone showed me a team and they said, this is a real team. It's Jordan Love, Raheem Mostert, Ken Walker, AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, David Njoku, Cooper Kupp, and Graham Gano. Damn. Everybody, like that guy has the worst luck ever. Worst luck ever. Everybody, like, man. Yeah, that's the fantasy football god saying it's time to humble your ass. I'm dropping Chris Jones for Jared Verse. Yeah, that's not that bad of a move. I mean, because Chris Jones, I mean, he goes in spurts for sure. You know, he goes in spurts. Like there'll be games where he gets like no stats, like at all. Then there'll be games where he throws down 2-3 sacks and has a bunch of tackles. But he's like the guy on the defensive line that teams are scheming against for sure. Yeah, too hot and cold for sure. Toyota one said I saw that today. It's pretty crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. And this kind of thing, it happens. This kind of thing, it happens. Okay. It really does. And yeah, I mean, that's really just all I could say. Shit happens. Jack says, it worth trading Mason? If so, for what? Along with what? I mean, Waddle doesn't have too much trade value. I mean, Mason does, but it kind of took a little bit of a hit. Because he didn't do as good this week as he did last week, So it's like, even though he is the guy, I think everybody knows he's still on borrowed time. But, I mean, really, I don't like giving people names on who they should go, like, try to trade for. Because so many variables could be there. But what I will say is the person that, like, you're trying to target a team or you're trying to target a manager, right, that you might be able to make a trade with. So I would be targeting the CMC manager, unless you are the CMC manager. In that case, just don't trade them. But I would be trying to target the CMC manager as one of the guys, okay? And then I would see like what they have, that they might be able to give up. If they're super blessed with wide receivers, you try to grab a wide receiver from them. If they are super blessed with running backs, maybe you trade Mason for a running back straight up because that person was CMC. Maybe they just want Mason over whoever the hell else, But that's kind of where it starts. That's kind of like where it starts with all this. You got to get like those type of guys, like those type of teams. That's where you want to be targeting. Okay. Was offered Garrett Wilson for Mason and Waddle. I mean, I think that is a little bit too much. Make him throw in something on the other side of that. Make him throw in a wide receiver back or a running back, throw in back. And, a 2-for-2 trade might not seem as bad than that 2-for-1 because I kind of feel like it's kind of too much also. But Mason's on borrowed time and Waddle, he's probably not going to be good for the next couple weeks. So it's like, Garrett Wilson. I mean, I know they play against New England this week, so it might be a little bit of a tougher matchup. And it is on Thursday night. But, you know, does he help your team like more right now than like Waddle does? Probably. Okay. Here we go. Scotty boy, he made it. What up, bro? Yeah. We got a whole bunch of weight. We already went through all the offensive positions, and I did defense and special teams. We're covering IDP. And, you know, in between the peeps, I'll be doing, you know, hitting the chat and everything. Toyota One said my WWF league lost Tua, CMC, AJ Brown, Fergie, Ingram, Bernard, Mosley, Blackman, and Devin White. Man, that's tough. That's tough. That's rough, man. He said need some waiver help a bit. So some of these guys will be available in the league, IDP wise, and some of these guys will already be taken. So it's going to be, I always like to do a little mix of, and I'll mention this in the video. I like to do a little mix of guys who are, you know, probably available in more shallow IDP. And those are the guys probably rostered in like 20% of leagues, like redraft leagues. And then I like to try to deep dive, you know, the guys who are like available in like 5% or less of leagues. And then specifically like the 0%, like rostered guys. Sometimes these are guys who are even available in our what's it called? In our dynasty leagues as well. Jason, I'm doing a redraft for a new league in my group. Anyone interested? Oh shit, son. Doing another draft. Let's go. Here we go. What up? We got another IDP video for you guys. If it's your first time here, hit subscribe because you know that there are very few people doing IDP videos for the crew, but I've been playing in IDP leagues for damn near 20 years, and I'm the one bringing the heat. And the waiver wire video for IDP is always one of the most popular of the week, so this comes every single week. I also have defense and special teams if you guys play in those leagues, but fuck team defense, am I right? And then we also got every offensive position waiver wire video available as well. I'm starting off with the linebackers as I always do. Then we're going to get to defensive linemen and then to defensive backs. I try to mention guys that are available in leagues that might be a little bit more shallow with IDP. So those would be guys who are like rostered in like 20% of like Yahoo leagues or so for the redraft. And then I try to mention guys rostered in less than 5% of leagues. So those more guys who should be available in even like some of the bigger redraft leagues. And then I always try to highlight a couple people who are 0% rostered as well, because that is going to be for, you know, like even Dynasty. You might even be able to find these guys in Dynasty. And here we go. I'm starting with Henry Tuatu, Mr. Henry H2O. He's the second guy over there to Azeez Al-Shaair. And Azeez Al-Shaair, you know, way rostered, so we're not even going to be talking about him. But he's the second guy. 15 points in week 1, 31 in week 2. He had 9 solo tackles. He had 13 total tackles. He did mix in a sack as well. Mixed in a tackle for loss. He's doing really solid over there. Teams that, I mean, a lot of running. They want to do a lot of running on the Texans because the Texans do have a pretty solid secondary. That's kind of what we've seen in the first couple games against them. And go pick him up.
Pick him up.
He is rostered in, it's 1% of redraft leagues. So this is someone who should be readily available. All right. Next guy here, Robert Spillane, linebacker on the Raiders, might not be as available for you. He's rostered in 21% of Yahoo redraft leagues, 30%, 30 points this past week, 8 solos and 2 assisted tackles, and he had a big INT as well. In your deeper leagues, he's probably not available, but if he's available, you're in a more shallow league, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
Always making a lot of points. I mean, as of right now, he is averaging 24 and a half points per game. All right. 1 second. Got to do one more piece of research for this guy. Here we go. Now, this guy should be readily available in your redraft leagues, maybe even in some of your dynasty leagues. Blake Cashman on the Vikings. They brought him over to be a starter. And Yvonne Pace, I know a lot of people are like super excited about Yvonne Pace, but Cashman plays like 90% or more of the snaps when Yvonne Pace plays around like 70% of the snaps. In week 1, he only had 10 points, not so good. But week 2, killed it, 36 total points, 5 solo tackles, and 13 total tackles. He had a sack, mixed in 3 passes defended as well in an IDP 1, 2, 3. Those are worth 3 points, even worth more than a tackle. So Blake Cashman,
Pick him up!
he's playing a lot of snaps, and that's one of the things that we love. And he's getting pretty much 90% plus of the snaps at 89 in week 1. And then over that in week 2, he had 99% of the snaps in week 2. And it's probably going to be the norm for him. And look at his snap number. He played 69 total snaps in week 2.
69, dudes!
Go get him. What'd Jay say, man? I got Hutchinson, Warner, Edmonds, Bosa. Medalist, he said, I'm good barring injuries at IDP. Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely with that crew, yeah, you're looking good. You're looking good. What up, Drew? Said, good afternoon. Thinking about trading Adams or Neighbors and Kincaid for Pollard and Kelsey. My roster needs a reliable running back. I mean, if you want a reliable running back, I mean, maybe we should shoot a little bit higher than Pollard. Maybe shoot a little bit higher than Pollard. And I would really go look for a team. Did you already like scout out this team and know that Pollard is the guy that you want because the guy like needs a wide receiver or whatever? Because that's what I would be going and trying to do. Like make sure that you're finding the wide receiver needy team, first. And because, I mean, obviously Adams or Neighbors, I mean, that's the big piece of what you're trading away. So I would go try to find the wide receiver needy team and then see who they got at running back, and kind of go from there. But I'm not mad at, what you're putting together here. Here's another guy who should be available in your redraft leagues, Jermaine Pratt. So he's been a solid staple of the Bengals for a few years, especially in IDP. And week 1, 16 points, just solid, very solid. And then in week 2, 30 points versus the Chiefs. He had 16 total tackles this week. He's got that tackling fuel, let me tell you.
Tackling fuel.
He had 7 of those were solos, and then also mixed in a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. So we like those kind of things. And that's what brought his points, all the way up to 30. But I think that if you need linebacker help, I mean, most of the time, him and Logan Wilson, I mean, they're both having very decent, at least decent games over there. And teams, because of Joe Burrow, they're always going to try to run on them. So what should we do?
Pick him up!
Let's do it. And Drew said, thanks for the advice, man. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Hit that like button for anybody who has not yet. Prime time, get some thoughts on my 12 team. Mahomes, Barkley Mason, Wilson Evans, Chase, Kelsey, Aubrey. I've been streaming whoever's playing Carolina. I mean, it looks good. Yeah, I mean, for a 12 teamer, I mean, it looks solid. And yeah, just keep streaming defense, bro. Keep streaming defense. I think it's the Raiders this week, right? We play the Panthers. Here we go. Now, this guy, 10% rostered in redraft leagues. Tremaine Edmonds on the Bears. Not going to be available in your deeper IDP leagues for sure. But if you play in a little bit of a more shallow one, I feel like you could do a lot worse than Tremaine Edmonds. Everybody who's playing against him has seemed to run the ball a bunch. In week 1, you know, not too much going on with him. But week 2, they let him get after the quarterback a little bit. He ended up getting a sack. He had 11 total tackles. 8 of them were solo. So I think if you're in a little bit of a more shallow league, I would pick him up.
Pick him up.
A lot worse linebackers you could target right now. Jason, the advice you get here is invaluable. Join the crew, support the content, man. You can't go wrong. I appreciate you. And for everyone who has not joined, maybe you don't know how to join, you just hit the little join button that's somewhere right underneath the video, or you click the link in the pinned comment in the pinned comment right at the top of the chat. And for anybody who might be curious, I mean, the defensive guys are kind of in no real particular order. Like if people want individual help on who you should pick up, 420crew.com. Make sure you get in over there because I don't know who's available in the IDP leagues. There may even be better people available in the IDP leagues than these guys that I'm mentioning. And actually, I'll mention that right now as well. Got a Giants linebacker here, Micah McFadden. Last year kind of came onto the scene, a little bit more solid. I mean, had a pretty disappointing rookie year. And week 1, he's hurt, doesn't even play, probably got dropped in a bunch of places because I see he's only 2% rostered in Yahoo redraft leagues. And the Giants, they suck. And teams are usually grounding and pounding. And when like teams are beating them, they're going to run on them more. And like, that's probably going to be a situation for them a bunch where teams are just running and running and running on them while they're trying to run down the clock. So Micah McFadden, yeah, 13 total tackles. 7 of them were solo. He mixed in a sack this week. That's probably not going to be the norm for him. But yeah, Micah McFadden, go pick him up.
Pick him up.
And just remember, every IDP league is different, and there's some leagues that start 1 player. There's some that start 9 or 10 or even more. So if you guys want like specific answers about your league, make sure you go to 420crew.com. Go join the crew. You get direct access to me. Sign up as a superstar tier member or higher. That's the best thing that you can do for your fantasy football life. I am telling you, because there might be guys available in your league that don't even make my video because they shouldn't be available to pick up in your league. So that's why you want to hit me up personally, because I'm trying to do things for the masses here, but you want the individual help because that's how you're going to win your individual league. So let's do it. All right. Yuck. What up? He said, specifically, I just want to ask why the Cowboys got to be so ass.
Bye-bye, lard ass.
Man, getting that ass whooped. That's just, no one saw that coming. No one saw that coming. Damn it, yuck. Yeah, no idea what's going on with them. They're fucking up, dude. They're fucking up. Why can I not find this guy? Why the hell can I not find this guy? Hey, what up, Derek? We're talking IDP right now. We're talking IDP. Made it just in time. Trying to find why the fuck. Why can I not find this guy? Man, this is fucking weird. Why can I not find this fucking guy? Oh, there we go. Because they only have him as a DL on here. All right. Next guy I'm mentioning here, Pat Jones. Who? Pat Jones on the Minnesota Vikings. Killing it in back-to-back games so far. 24 points in week 1, 28 in week 2. Now, for anyone who's playing on Sleeper, he has DL eligibility only, so I am going to re-mention him when we talk about DLs. But for everyone who plays on Yahoo or ESPN, they have him listed as a linebacker only. Very confusing. I know. It took me like 5 minutes to like find this guy because I'm looking in the linebackers. Could not find him. I was like, do they not have him on Sleeper? Yes, they do, but they only have him listed as a defensive lineman. So when we're talking about people to pick up, who? Pat Jones. Man, that shit was fucking annoying right there. Could not find the motherfucker. All right. And a lot of these guys have low percentage of rostership. Here's another guy, only 2% rostered in Yahoo redraft leagues. David Long for the Miami Dolphins, and 15 points in week 1, 24 points in week 2. In week 2, 9 of those tackles were solos. Killing it. And you already know now that the Dolphins probably are going to be playing from behind a lot, there's probably going to be more running happening on these guys. So that means someone like David Long's production could even be going up. So what are we going to do?
Pick him up.
Let's do it. I added a couple Pitskis to the rosters. Adorable Miss Roxy and Mickey. Nice. And I guess I was wrong about Mr. Aziz Al-Shair, who's someone who you definitely have to pick up.
Pick him up.
He's 20% rostered, so he kind of just barely makes the cut. So if you're in a little bit of a shallow league and he's available, go do it. 10 points in week 1, 26 in week 2. They got Minnesota, the Jags, and Buffalo over the next 3 weeks. So some solid games. So pick them up. CB Dizzle said, what up? He said, if you're an American, you should be disappointed in your America's team and your defense getting dog walked by an inferior team. Man, they killed it. They killed it. Now on Sleeper, this guy only has DL eligibility, but for those who play on Yahoo and ESPN, he has dual eligibility. I'm talking about Jared Verse on the Rams. 16 points in week 1, 22 in week 2, 6 solo tackles and a forced fumble, 7 total tackles. So if you need some D-line help over there, Jared Verse might be available. And I'm sure he's rostered in the deeper leagues, but if he's available,
Pick him up.
all right. Now, Josie Jewell, if you're in a little bit of a more shallow league, he might be available for you out there. I know deeper leagues, there's probably no way he's available. But 13 points in week 1 and 22 in week 2. Like, this is the kind of stuff that he's going to be doing over there for the Carolina Panthers. 11 total tackles. 8 of them were solo this week. He's going to be doing this week after week after week. So if somehow he's available,
Pick him up.
nice. Corbin said just put in a waiver for Verse. I hope to grab him. Hell yeah, man. He's been looking good. He's been looking good. One more Carolina linebacker, Shaq Thompson. Teams are going to be beating up on the Panthers so much and running on them so much that both Josie Jewell and Shaq Thompson can both throw down 20-point games. So if he's available in your league,
Pick him up.
way little bit more available than Josie Jewell. 14 total tackles in this past week, and 8 of them were solo. So yeah, go pick Shaq Thompson up if you need linebacker help. Hell yeah, they're going to be on defense a lot. Hell yeah. Carl Granson, another good one, along with Lante Taylor. Yeah, I mean, when we get to D-line, I'm definitely going to be talking about Granderson also. All right, as we continue the linebackers, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Turn on the notifications and leave a comment. Drop a comment. Devin Lloyd. Man, Devin Lloyd, he's been one of my favorite linebackers ever since he came in as a rookie. 18 points in week 1, 23 points in week 2. Just kind of a jack of all trades. And even though he's playing right next to Foyo Lacune, he still puts up decent points week after week. Only 5 of his 8 tackles were solo. I mean, I guess that's more than half. And then he did mix in a forced fumble. But he just always figure out how to get somewhere between 15 and 25 points. So we love him for it. Go pick him up.
Pick him up.
Probably more shallow leagues he'll be available. Deeper leagues, no way he's available. Fizzle, 14-man. Do I drop my backup QB and just stream QB for the bye week? I have Murray as my starter, Fields as my backup. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. And when do the Cardinals even have their bye week? It's not for a while, right? Craig Lloyd was a beast. I have Lloyd and Verse in a couple. Solid. Super solid. Now, this guy's so nice. I'm going to talk about him twice. This is the first one. Van Ginkel, Andrew Van Ginks. Told you to pick him up last week.
Pick him up.
Telling you to pick him up this week on Sleeper. You can play him in the DL or the LB spot. On Yahoo, you can only play with him in the linebacker spot. So wherever you are, I would still pick him up.
Pick him up.
2 good games back-to-back, 29 points in week 1, 22 in week 2, and he's had a sack in each of the games so far. Going up against the Texans, CJ's taking some sacks. Going up against Green Bay the week after that, and Jordan Love probably won't be back by then. And then you got the Jets, who, I mean, we see them giving up some sacks, so he's got a couple good games ahead. Van Ginks, get him in your lineup.
Pick him up.
Van Ginkel's mine in a few. He's the man. He's the man. All right. One more here. Let me go check some percentages here real quick. Okay. Here is my last linebacker to mention on the waivers. We're going to be covering defensive linemen next and then defensive backs. So stick around for all the players. Denzel Perryman, very available in your leagues. And now, because Junior Colson got hurt, if he misses any time, that just means a higher snap percentage for Denzel Perryman, who is already playing a higher percentage than Colson anyways, but Colson being out just means more for him. He had 21 points in week 2. Now that he got more snaps, he had 65% of the snaps as opposed to 50% in week 1. 5 of his 7 tackles were solo, and then he mixed in a big time sack as well. They got Pittsburgh this week, and you know Pittsburgh's going to be running. You got KC the week after that. 2 good games right before their bye week. So if you need someone to stream at linebacker or whatever, or maybe had a couple injuries, you could do a lot worse than Denzel Perryman playing on the Chargers. And if Colson doesn't play, higher percentage for him. Let's get into the defensive linemen now. Frizzle said favorite running back waiver wire pickup for week 3. So that's that's a trick question. That's a trick question this week because all the running back picks are kind of bad. But I would go Braylon Allen. And Demon Yo, what up, homie? Lost Pacheco, got Waddle. Do you think I should trade Nico for Mondre and Smith? No, I'm gonna hold Nico. Wide receiver 1 is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, shit, Nico's he's playing like a number 1 right now because he's outscoring Amon-Ra like crazy. And CMC cooked. Therapist Joe. Let's hope he'll get back soon. Exotic Lord, I just traded for Jamar Chase. Nice. Who'd you trade? And give me 1 second, guys. I got to go refill my water. No way I'll make it through all the other positions with what I got right now. So let's see. Let's get ready to regulate. All right. Said Braylon Allen would be a hold till later in the season, right? Not a starter. Correct. And that's what I pretty much said about a lot of these guys, except the Chiefs guys who were kind of guessing on, but yeah, all the guys this week are kind of more like speculative, more, a couple weeks down the road, like type thing. Because I feel like if you don't need a running back, you don't have to pick one up this week. Like, Pacheco people will try, but there's not even anybody who I'd feel confident picking up and starting like this week, unless, like at least the guys who I talked about, because, like if it's someone who's rostered in 70% of leagues or something, I'm not even like looking at guys like that because, most people won't be able to get them anyways. But yeah, most running backs this week are super speculative ads for sure. Gave up Drake London, Brian Robinson, Demarcus Robinson. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad for either side because I'm assuming his team sucked. Said all were on my bench, and I got A.J. Brown, CMC, desperate, starting off 0-2. Make those moves, man. Make those moves. All right. Here we go with the defensive lineman. And the first guy that I picked, he's got dual eligibility at the DL and the LB. Will McDonald the fourth. Oh, yeah. Super hyped, last year when they drafted him, and kind of a lot of nothing until right now. until right now. 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Like, these are the type of games that they really thought that he was going to have when they drafted him. Someone who's rostered in 0% of leagues, I mean, I feel like I might have even dropped him in a dynasty or two, here or there. So he only played 35 total snaps. And this week, that 35 total snaps was 53% of the snaps. So he's kind of just hovering right around that 50%. The first week, it was 49% snaps. So not someone who I'm like super excited about like starting right away, because he barely plays like half the game. But someone to get on your radar, number one, or if you play in a dynasty league and he's available, someone you might want to pick up and just throw on your bench over there. Maybe this is the game that finally starts heating up, the career of this kid. Hunter said, sorry, should I pick up Steele, Henry, and Joku, or save my number 2 waiver spot? I can always put a tight end in the flex. I don't want Hunter Henry. I mean, everywhere else, he only has linebacker eligibility, Adafi Owa on the Ravens. Week 1, 85% of snaps. Week 2, 67% of snaps. Not the best if you just look at those stats and that's it. But in week 1, he had 8 points versus the Chiefs. And then in week 2 versus the Raiders, he had 34 points. So out there killing it, 2.5 sacks. The 4th year for him. And he's kind of disappointed like along the way. Like, I mean, he's been decent in like real life, but for fantasy, he's kind of disappointed. This is someone that we're gonna look at and speculate. I would get him on the radar. On Sleeper, if he's available, I'd probably go pick him up.
Pick him up!
Because you can play him at the DL, and I feel like DL is just so slim that a guy like that, he will have value. He will have value. All right. There we go. Let's see. Who's the next guy to talk about here? All right, I mentioned this guy in the linebacker spot, but on Sleeper, he has DL eligibility only. Pat Jones. Who? Pat Jones. Playing right around 50% of the snaps. He's got 2 sacks in each of the first 2 games, and he has a forced fumble also in week 2. So just being very, very efficient with everything. And if you need a D lineman on Sleeper, I would go pick him up. I probably wouldn't pick him up in a linebacker spot because we want guys who play more percentage of snaps, guys more consistent. But on Sleeper in the DL, you could do a lot worse than Pat Jones right now. So I would go pick him up.
Pick him up!
On Sleeper, though. On Sleeper. Abdullah, what up, what up? And hold on. And Van Ginkel, I told you he's so nice. I'm going to talk about him twice. Here's the second time. Snap percentages. Week 1, 58% of snaps. Week 2, 81% of snaps. So already a big jump from week 1 to week 2. Snap percentage wise, he did take a hit, 29 points in week 1. He did score that touchdown, though. I mean, that added to the points. Week 2, 22 points. Van Ginks, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
All right. I talked about this guy last week. I'm going to mention him again this week. Keon White. He has 4 total sacks in this season. He plays for the New England Patriots, for those who don't know, and over 80% of snaps in each of the first 2 weeks. And this week, he had 7 total tackles as opposed to last week having 4. Last week, 32 total points. This week, 22 total points. I don't think a lot of people know who this guy is, so go pick him up.
Pick him up!
While he is rostered in a very low percentage of leagues, only rostered in 10% of leagues. That's a lot since last week. I feel like last week it was a lot less than that. So go pick him up because D linemen, they're not a dime a dozen like the linebackers. D linemen are a little bit tougher to come by. All right. We are trucking along here. Trucking along. I know a lot of you, I know some people who might be watching right now don't even play in IDP leagues. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. There we go. Trey Hendrickson. Now, if you play in a deeper IDP league, he's probably not available. But if you play in a more shallow IDP league, this is a solid defensive lineman to go out there and get. 14% rostered in Yahoo redraft leagues. He had 2 sacks this week, 27 total points, mixed in 4 solo tackles as well. So Trey Hendrickson, if he's somehow available,
pick him up.
Go grab him. Go grab him. BT, what up? Dobbins and Marv or Lava and JT. Oh, I just don't even make that trade. Make a more calculated trade. Don't trade those guys for each other. You want to figure out how to pair up some of these guys. But yeah, Olave and JT, I mean, that's the side that seems a little bit more valuable, but Marv's the shiny piece. And I would try to get rid of J.K. Dobbins if you have them. And just for the people who may have jumped to defensive linemen from the linebackers, Jared Verse, I'm going to throw him out there again. 16 points in week 1, 22 in week 2. Already has a sack and a forced fumble on the season. He had 7 total tackles this past week. 6 of them are solo. So Jared Verse.
Pick him up!
Carl Granderson, his team is killing it right now. And he was really solid in week 2. He had a sack and a half against the Cowboys. This past week, he played 77% of the snaps. If he's playing 3/4 of the snaps and he's getting after the QB like that, he's someone that we like going up against the Eagles and the Falcons over the next couple weeks. And yeah, if you need D-line help, do it.
Pick him up!
All right, let's see. I'm trying to find someone else. Let me go see. Trying to all the damn linemen, like they're all fucking taken. Now, here's a real deep dive for you guys. Alex Wright on the Cleveland Browns. He jumped up in snap percentage from 30% to 55%. And that's the kind of trajectory that we like. And he got a sack this week. 17 points, 4 points in week 1. So a huge improvement And they rotate, you know, guys over there in Cleveland a lot. And if he starts becoming a guy who's more than 50%, if he becomes a guy who's used more than 50% of the snaps on a constant basis, I think it's a good pickup, like in advance, because Cleveland, it seems like they're always going to be on the field. And so if they're rotating a lot more and he becomes more of a piece, let's do it.
Pick him up.
And that's the last D lineman. Hit that subscribe button if you have not. And we're getting into defensive backs to close this out. All right. Back nine, Ronnie. What up? So I got Taysom Hill, only tight end I have. Roster, there's Hunter Henry and Njoku, Ferguson, but he's questionable. What are your thoughts? I mean, Hunter Henry's the only guy who's like playing like right now, so I feel like kind of just by default he would be the guy to like pick up. We really don't know about Fergie or when he's coming back, how much of an issue, you know, he has right now, like all those kind of things. But yeah, I would probably pick up Hunter Henry. He has a horrible matchup this week, but I'd probably pick him up. Okay. Last ones here. Here we go. Thank you for continuing down this IDP waiver wire journey. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Turn on the notifications. And let's talk about Jason Pinnock for the Giants, who had a good game after having kind of a mediocre game ones. Washington. Seems like Washington's going to give it the booty on the offense and on defense. Pinnock, he's only rostered 1% of redraft leagues, so you can probably go pick him up in a lot of different places. He had 9 total tackles, 8 of them solo, and then he mixed in 2 sacks as well. So that's why he got 35 points. I mean, I doubt this is going to be a normal thing, but if the tackles stay around where they are, it's going to be a solid performance from a safety week in and week out. And the Giants, they suck, so they're going to be on defense a lot. Papa J snagged Keon White, and he said, is Holland and Nixon a hold? I would put, I mean, Holland probably is going to have an uptick with Tua leaving. You know, who knows for how long. Nixon, I think he's going to be like a streaming, like game by game, like type of guy. Let's see here. Yes, sir. Got you back 9. Thanks for coming through, homie. I'm going to stick with the Giants while we're here because we know that their team is garbage. And when your team kind of sucks, you're going to have guys who, you know, shiny piece of doo-doo, baby. And we got Andrew Phillips or Drew Phillips, whatever they have him listed as. And he went, I don't know if you guys heard, like this kid, he's a rookie. I don't know what they really thought they were going to get from him right away. But last week, barely played. Yeah, he played like 29% of the snaps, only 16 total snaps, like you can see here. He got 12 points, forced a fumble, got a couple tackles. It was real solid. And then in week 2, he goes from 16 total snaps to 66 total snaps, 92% snaps. So this kid is going to be on the field a lot. And back-to-back games, 12 points in week 1, only getting a small percentage of snaps. Then he jumps up 30 total points. He mixed in a sack. He had 12 total tackles. 7 of them were solo. He had 2 tackle for losses in there. So, yeah, Drew Phillips, I think you could do a lot worse than him right now. And he's a cornerback, but if he's going to be they're going to be getting him to rush the quarterback and he's getting a lot of tackles, like, yeah, he's probably going to be the guy that we're going to want to lean on over here if there was a cornerback to actually lean on. All right. Here we go. Patriots safety Kyle Duggar. Man, I've been a fan of Kyle Duggar ever since he came into the league a handful of years ago. And I was telling a bunch of people to draft him. Week 1, 14 points, not amazing, but he's handling biz. And then in week 2, 29 points, totally killing it over there. I know they went into overtime. He probably got a couple extra tackles or whatever, but he got a sack. He got 8 total tackles and actually had 9 total tackles. I don't know why it says 8 here, but he had 8 of them were solo. So if he's available, this is probably going to be in a more shallow league that he's available. Go pick him up.
Pick him up.
All right. Who else to talk about? There's always so many random DBs. It's like always just trying to find pick and choose the guys who don't seem like they're super flukes. Here we go. I got to mention Nick Cross again this week after mentioning him last week. So Julian Blackmon ended up not playing. Sorry for anybody who picked him up and then he didn't play. Hopefully you saw that news. But Nick Cross, 22 points in week 1, 25 in week 2, 15 total tackles in week 2, 10 of them were solo. Those are the kind of numbers that we like out of a safety. So I told you last week to go pick him up. If you're still contemplating picking him up, do it.
Pick him up.
All right. Next guy here, Mr. Benjamin St. Justy, whichever way you pronounce it. Solid in week 1, 13 points, 24 in week 2. He's a corner, but teams are throwing all over Washington right now, and he got 5 tackles this past week. He got 6 solos this week. He mixed in a forced fumble. He had 24 total points. So if you play in a league where you start cornerbacks, he's someone that you go pick up.
Pick him up.
And even if it's DBs, as bad as Washington is right now, they're going to be on the field a bunch for defense. So I like him. Go pick him up. He's readily available. Another guy who notched 24 points this week, also had 11 tackles, 8 of them solo, Jordan Whitehead for the Tampa Bay Bucks. 15 points last week. Antoine Winfield was there last week. This week, Antoine Winfield's not there. He throws down 24 points. So Antoine Winfield going to miss a few weeks at least. So I say if Jordan Whitehead is available,
pick him up.
Might be just in a little bit more shallower leagues. He's 11% rostered in Yahoo redraft leagues as of now. Well, here we go. Now, I know if you play in a deep IDP league, this guy is not available, but because he's only rostered 19% of Yahoo redraft leagues, I'm going to mention him, Mr. Buda Baker. If he's somehow available, go pick him up.
Pick him up.
16 points in week 1, 23 points in week 2, 8 solo tackles in week 2. That's what we like out of our safeties. How do I pronounce that? Rieger Productions. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. But our Productions, what up? What up? Appreciate you for coming through. Because I don't know if I've ever seen your handle before. If you got any fantasy football questions, throw them in. I'm talking about some IDP waiver wire pickups. I was offered a trade. I received Keenan Allen, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams. I trade away Debo, Kyren. Do I do this trade? Keenan Allen kind of ruins it. Can you get someone else in there besides broken Keenan Allen who hasn't played? If there's another person that you can get in there besides that, I'd probably do it. Probably do it. All right. One, two, three, four, five. All right, Derek. We'll catch you later, bro. Salute. What if I get Keenan Allen in the trade and drop him for someone off waivers? Well, that just doesn't make sense, because if you're just going to drop him anyways, get that person to throw in someone better, or just leave Keenan Allen out and put in a lesser of a player than Kyren maybe. Here's another cornerback, but someone who you're going to be getting thrown on a lot. Talking about Christian Benford for the Buffalo Bills. Only 6 points in week 1, but totally killing it versus the Dolphins. He got an interception out there. He also mixed in 7 tackles, 6 of them solo. I think you go pick him up.
Pick him up.
The Bills score a lot and teams are going to be throwing on them a lot. So the cornerbacks have always kind of been like decent-ish point getters fantasy-wise. So they could do a lot worse than Benford. That's for sure. If you need to dive this deep, he is only 1% rostered in Yahoo redraft leagues. I got 3 players to talk about, and then we're going to get out of here. But make sure that you subscribe if you have not already. We're bringing the IDP heat week after week after week. I'll be your biggest IDP resource of this season, hands down. No other YouTuber brings the IDP heat like I do. So appreciate you new people who found the video and followed and subscribed. Appreciate you. Last 3. Here we go. Alontae Taylor. Man, woo, he gets a lot of tackles. Yes, he does. And last week he had 3 sacks. Didn't mix any sacks in this week because, cornerbacks out there getting sacks, that's never going to be the norm. But he did mix in a lot of tackles, 8 solos to be exact. And he mixed in 2 tackles for loss as well. So even though he's not getting sacks, they're still getting him behind the line of scrimmage as well. And he had 21 points. That is awesome. That is awesome. 21 points. Played a bunch of snaps, pretty much all of them. %94 of snaps to be exact this week. And that was a big jump up after his game last week where he played 78% of snaps. So that is the kind of trajectory that we want out of our IDP players. So Alontae Taylor.
Pick him up.
Let's get him. Only 6% rostered in Yahoo redraft leagues. All right. We are almost done. Almost done. Same team. We're talking about Paulson Adebo. Man, this guy's been on fire. This guy's been on fire as well. Their top 2 corners are Alontae Taylor, Adebo, as far as like who's getting the most like snaps like out there. He got 96% of the snaps this week. Last week, he has 5 total tackles. This week, he has 4 total tackles, but also mixed in an INT. And the way that the Saints have been playing, I really feel like teams are going to have to throw on them a lot more. And so that's going to mean more tackles, more opportunities for their corners who get the most snaps out there. So Adebo, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
All right. What if oh wait, we already answered that. All right, here we go. Actually, I'm gonna mention 2 more players here. Or actually, you know what? I'm just not gonna mention the other guy. All right, last player. Then we're going to smoke a bowl or 2 and get ready to get up out of here. If anyone has any questions, feel free to throw them in. This is going to be my last. This is going to be the end of the IDP portion of the video. Here we go. We've made it all the way to the end of the video. Hit subscribe if you have not. The last guy we're talking about here is Mr. Damar Hamlin. Oh, yeah. He had 100% of snaps in week 1. Only had 6 points. Not the best. In week 2, he has 92% of snaps, but I think that's just because they were winning so much that they pulled Hamlin and Rapp for the backups. But yeah, Hamlin, he killed it in this game against the Dolphins. I mean, everybody kind of killed it. But he had 10 total tackles. He had 8 solos, 1 tackle for loss. Yeah, Hamlin, I feel like the way that they are going to be just beating up on people, the teams are going to have to throw on them a lot. They're getting him all over the place, as far as like getting up in the box randomly, or at least getting up there to cover the running backs here and there. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. So did the Bills. He's going to keep getting tackles. He got 20 points in week 2, and he's got Jacksonville, Baltimore, and Houston coming over the next couple weeks. So those should be good IDP games for their safety. So Damar Hamlin,
pick him up.
If you did not check out any of the other if you did not check out any other waiver wire videos that I dropped, I also dropped the defense and special teams if you guys play with defense and special teams, and then all of the offensive positions. So go check those out. Go click on them. Go give them a watch. Go hit the like button. Go leave comments on all these videos. Leave a comment here as well. And remember, I'm bringing the IDP heat, so make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notifications, and if you want to watch one of the other waiver wire videos, they're popping up right now. Just click it, click it. There we go. Still took as long as it did last week. Took 4 hours. So I got to smoke 1 bowl, and then we got to get out of here. I got to go faster before the IDP because the IDP is going to take the same amount of time no matter what. It took like an hour, with the talking in between and stuff. And our productions, I'm debating on picking up Josie Jewell. That was one of the people that I talked about. I talked about Josie Jewell. Depends on who you would drop, but that's the person I say pick up.
Pick him up.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Corbin said drop Landry for Atu. Henry H2O is probably going to be more consistent. I mean, we see Landry. I mean, he's only going to be so consistent with him getting these sacks in games like this. I mean, it was a boss game, though. Zach said Steele or P. Ryan. Really neither, but I'm leaning Steele. I think more volume, but I think it's going to be ugly either way for both of them because the Chiefs have not been running a lot. They really haven't. Not compared to like other teams, Let's go. Let's take a toke. Toker1J says, let's go. Yeah. The Falcons head coach as well as IDP. So the guy I'd like to drop is the Falcons head coach. Do it. I don't play with head coaches. I always think it's pretty funny when they play with head coaches. Papa J said with Bentley out, Tavai pickup. Yeah, I mean, there's probably better players that you can get than Tavai. But yeah, I mean, he's a solid pickup though. But there's definitely better pickups than Tavai this week. Like I didn't even see what Tavai was what his rostership is. I know it's probably higher than a lot of the people that I mentioned. No way. Our production said in this league I also play with punters. Oh man. Well, offensive linemen. You play with offensive linemen too? Oh man, yeah, Toyota One, you the man. Thanks for all you do. Has great content as usual. Bong rip, bro. Let's go. Extra bong rip for this one. I appreciate you. And Toyota One, since I'm getting out of here, I'm not going to update the bottom of the footer right now. I will for because I should be going live tonight. I'm not sure exactly what time, but I just want to keep the nighttime shows going. It's going to be later though because Noble's got practice and stuff. Oh, dang it. It does have linemen. Oh, my gosh. 25% rostered. Okay, so that's why he wouldn't make my list anyways because I really only talk about 20% or less. I think I mentioned Spillane because he was 21%, but Spillane ain't available in deeper leagues anyways. But, yeah, I mean, I like Tavai. They like Tavai. They gave him the bag. But their linebackers only do so good like here and there. They really do. And a Toyota One said the nighttime shows are legit. Yeah, and it's just like a different crowd, right? Like, I mean, I like it. And, so, people like you guys will be live, anyways. And it's not even that late for us West Coasters. I mean, it's really just late for the East Coasters, because they got the what's it called? I mean, they're 3 hours ahead of us. So even if I go live at like 8 o'clock or something like that, like, for the East Coasters, it's already 11. It's already bedtime. CB Dizzle, Travis Etienne, not that guy anymore. I think it's just the Jags, like, they're just looking all kinds of fucked up right now. And so, like, he's still the guy, but they got some kinks to work out over there for sure. They got some kinks to work out. So I wouldn't be trading Etienne off for like nothing. He's probably like an actual pretty good like buy low candidate like right now. Woo! Let's go. And Toyota One, you're the man. Appreciate the super chat right at the end. Our man Chef Rand did a super chat a little bit earlier, but man, 4-hour show. 4-hour show. And so I'm going to do it either way, whether people super chat or tip or not, but I appreciate it because it makes me feel good at the end of a long ass show, and I know everybody appreciates it, but when you leave a super chat, just shows you appreciate it a tiny little bit more. I guess that's the way that I feel, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's just the way that it makes that I feel about it. And yeah, Jags are so weird. Said the whole team right now, bunch of bums.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
Corbin said, I really hope Ridley can step up a few weeks till Debo's back. Yeah. If they keep giving him the ball, just like if they use him like Debo, like he got used, like not like Debo, but like that touchdown that he scored, that was off a run. And like, so if they use him like that, I mean, that would be like way nicer for us, right? Like, I mean, for any of us who roster him in fantasy. And our production says my punter for this league is the Pats punter with the 49ers head coach. Okay. All right. 49ers head coach. I don't know, man. That might not be a good one right now. Might not be a good one. And Dow Max said, should I prioritize picking up Kyle Duggar and Nick Cross? Ooh. I'm going to say Nick Cross, but it's very close. I would put in on both if you can, because you just never know. But I think I would put Nick Cross first because he seems to me like he's going to be the guy a little bit more consistent on the tackles. Duggar, he gets tackles, but he's like a big play guy. So like getting those INTs and shit like that, like that's definitely part of his game. You the man, Toyota One. He said, be sure to tip your bud tender. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. OD Black Tip on Twitch. What up, homie? Said escaping the first 2 weeks without injuries is scaring the shit out of me. And who's gonna be coming for me, bro? Just just ride the wave. Just ride the wave, man. Because dude, if you haven't had any injuries yet, like you're one of the lucky ones, because there's not too many teams out there out of the hundreds of millions of teams that play fantasy football. I am sure that there's not too many that haven't caught, any injuries. Quinn said, what do I do about Pittman? You hold, and you wait. He's going to the week one of the toughest cornerback matchups, cornerback wide receiver, like one of the toughest matchups, of anybody in the league, Stingley. And then same thing with this last week. He went up against, Stingley was week 2. Wait, week 2 or week 1? Hold on. Now I'm confusing it. I've been talking about so many people and shit. Now I could be confusing it. Yeah, okay. It was Houston week 1 versus Stingley. One of the worst matchups for a wide receiver. Week 2, it was Jair Alexander. One of the worst matchups that you can have. Chicago. They have Stevenson, and he's pretty good, but he's no fucking Stingley. He's no Jair Alexander. None of that. But then Pittsburgh, tough matchup as well. Jacksonville, not so much. And then you got Tennessee, Jarius Sneed. Yeah, Pittman, it sucks that he plays in the AFC South where he goes up against Stingley and L'Jarius Sneed 2 times each per year, because that's 4 games you can expect him to not be good. And he plays Tennessee in week 16. He plays Houston again in week 8. Big said, bro, the Colts schedule is so fucked. I would try selling off Pittman. I mean, if you can't, it's good. He only had 7 points in each of the first 2 weeks. So it's like, is someone really going to buy up on his potential? I guess I'm just being a little bit just real about like who the hell is going to want to trade for Michael Pittman right now. But I guess I should say, if someone's crazy enough to trade for Michael Pittman and treat him like the wide receiver 1 that you drafted him as, trade him off. Trade him off. OD Black Tip. Only injury I had was JJ leaving in the 3rd on Sunday. Fingers crossed he's all good. Yeah, we're hoping it's nothing super serious. And Denzel, would you drop Austin Eckler for Devonta Foreman? Nah, I'd hold. Gino or Sam? Who's Minnesota play again this week? And remember, guys, don't take Tuesday answers as final answers. Minnesota plays the Texans. Who the hell the Seahawks play? I know they play. Oh, the Dolphins. I'm going to say Sam Darnold. I bet he will need to do more to keep up with the Texans. What up, Ron? What up, homie?
You got perfect time. About to start a little puff give in this motherfucker.
Bears have Jalen Johnson. Yeah, they do, but he's still not like super shut down. I mean, they have Stevenson, Jalen Johnson, then they got Kyler Gordon. I mean, at the nickelback, all 3 of those cornerbacks are like super dope, but they're not like super shut down like either. That's all I'm saying. Can throw on them a little bit easier than you can throw on Stingley or Jair Alexander. And OD Black Tip, I guess I should have said no bad ones. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no ones where they super killed you, right? And what up, Hassan? He said, hey there, did the Eagles win last night? No, they did not. They did not. The stupid Eagles. Let me go check how much money I even have in my Bet MGM account after yesterday. Because I know I hit some and then lost some. Okay, still right around 20. That's what I started with. Yeah, Eagles money line lost. I hit the over. Dang, I bet the Eagles money line twice because of the different ones. Saquon didn't get me a touchdown. Bums, bunch of bums. Bakes said Richardson manager might bite. Yeah, maybe. Good point, Bakes. It's like, you want the Richardson Pittman stack. We know it sucked. It's gonna get better. Corbin said all the ex-Jet QBs playing well, right? I mean, they just sucked on the Jets. Ron said, so happy. Stayed true to drafting Kamara everywhere. There we go. There we go. Andrew said, figured I'd switch over to YouTube. Okay, it's OD. What up? What up? Thanks, man. Yeah, and I appreciate the Twitch love, and I do want people to like be on Twitch, but it's like there's like 20 people on YouTube and there's like one person on Twitch. You feel like you're talking to yourself. So it's like, I get it. I get it. And YouTube, we got remonetized and everything. So, I want people to be watching on YouTube. And you won't get ads during the live streams. I mean, I think at one point there might be, but yeah, a lot of times we're playing music that makes it so we can't get monetized anyway. So I just turn off the ads for the live streams, and then there'll be ads on like the uploaded videos. Hassan said, God mercy. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The Falcons, man, they turned it on. They turned it on. We try to trade Puka for Godwin. 3-player keeper. I'd much rather have Godwin for this year, yeah. Puka's going to be a better keeper for sure, but I always want to win now. So it's like, if you have 3 other guys who could be your potential keepers, or Godwin, I mean, shit, if Godwin would even be in one of your best 3, I mean, I'm sure he's not going to completely fall off the map after this year. Yeah, I mean, Godwin's the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy right now. Andrew's likely. I squad it. I drop one of them. Kind of can't right now. Andrew's got more snaps. All right. Before we get out of here, got to thank our producers of the show. All our 420 crew Patreon members, our ultimate priority member, Mr. Justin Pickle in a Jar, our all access members, our elite members, our superstar members, our 420 ride or die crew members. I appreciate you guys. It's because of you that we are able to do this show multiple times a day. And Stevie B will be here with Dynasty Life a little bit later, and I'll be going live a little bit later. I'm not really sure what time, but I'll be going live later as well, sometime after that show. Got to tell them they might just have to start keeping it to an hour, and I'll go live like right at 8 or something. All right, guys. In the books, man. Another Waiver Wire Tuesday in the books. We're here for 4 hours. It was a super long show, but we got through everything. And super killing it. What up, Pedro? You made it right at the end. We're getting up out of here. And Andrew said, hopefully I can catch streaming when you start streaming. Always busy when you start. Peace out. So tomorrow I'm going to be going a little bit earlier. And then the night shows. Just be paying attention for the night shows. If you're not working then, always a fun one. Always a fun one. So we'll see you guys a little bit later. Probably going to be like 8 or 8:30 West Coast time when I go live, maybe for like an hour and a half or so. And we'll see you guys there. Peace out, peeps. Peace out, Dow Mac, who just said peace right now.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played.